kódà ọmọ kì í káàbọ̀ sínú ìròyìn tó ní ẹjẹ́ àlọ́pàá Abala Lerefe ibi tá a gbà yọjú ibì kan agbègbè kan oko àbà kan tó ń pè ní Amadu Village ní Takum local government ní Taraba. Ibẹ̀ gangan lágbà yọjú sórí ètò lónìí o níbi tí wọ́n ti pa àwọn èèyàn lọ rẹpẹtẹ kò sẹ́yìn àwọn báńdíìtì náà o. In fact arábìnrin tẹ́ rí tó wà lórí ọ̀kadà yẹn ó ti kú o. Wọ́n kàn ń gbé lọ wọ́n ń di ẹsẹ̀ rẹ̀ mọ́ kínní ni kò sí nǹkan kan tó fẹ́ ṣe. Wọ́n wá bù wọ́n lẹ́yìn ọrùn ẹ̀yìn ọrùn náà tí ń tágẹ́ẹ̀tì wọ́n jù mọ́ ní hìhì. Aya mi ní ọ̀gá mi wọ́n dójúlé North Central gangan ni o. Gbogbo North Central pátápátá náà fẹ́ kóńbù mọ́ ní Ọlọ́run ní fún wọn ṣe. Ó wá ń jọ bí ẹni pé omi pọ̀ jọka lọ fún àwọn agbófinró bó tiẹ̀ jẹ́ pé àwọn náà ń gbìyànjú láwọn apá ibì kan ṣùgbọ́n ọwọ́ àwọn àtìláwí ó ń jọ bí ẹni wípé ó ń dunlẹ̀ dáadáa òjò wọn ń rọ̀ dáadáa ó ń dunlẹ̀ ju ti àwọn agbófinró lọ ṣùgbọ́n ẹja wá bọ́ọ̀dì sí Benue láti mọ̀ rí kọjá lọ sí Nzuka níbi tá a ti rí òkú àwọn èèyàn wọ́n kó wọn lérí ara wọn ni ó mú ní kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀. Wọ́n ní àwọn mopo ni wọ́n dáná yá àwọn eléyìí àwọn agbésùmọ̀mí àwọn bandits wọ́n pa wọ́n nípa àyà mo ló dà bẹ́ẹ̀.
ìlànà kí a gbé fọchí akẹ́ ẹ̀ ló dágbà náà. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni ló jìnnà gbèjì.
Òun náà lẹ́rí yẹn oníbẹ́nu èsì ń súnká ṣùgbọ́n nígbà tá a gbé ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ méjèèjì kẹ̀gbẹ́kẹ̀gbẹ́ ara wọn kò fẹ́ yàtọ̀ síra wọn wọ́n jọ fira wọn kàskọ́ọ̀sì ni o bí ọwọ́ àwọn agbófinró ṣe ń ràn wọ́n láwọn apá kan ní ọwọ́ àwọn agbésùmọ̀mí náà ń ran àwọn aráàlú láwọn apá kejì ó mọ̀ ga ẹjẹ́ wá kó ń bẹ́ẹ̀. ẹjẹ́ atara ṣàṣàkàdé Edo State níbi tí ọwọ́ ti bá àwọn àtìláwí àwọn báńdíìtì àwọn ọmọ Fúlàní nínú ijù nínú igbó ṣùgbọ́n kàyéfì ló jẹ́ ńgbà tí wọ́n ń bi wọ́n léèrè ọ̀rọ̀ wọn ní DPO ló fà wọ́n síbi mo ní DPO ló nílẹ̀ nínú igbó kan wá DPO yẹn kan ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n wá ṣe mistake o ẹ jẹ́ àkọ́kọ́ jọ gbọ́ ná.
Speak English. You don't speak English. Una be
Speak English.
Which person?
Speak English.
Which person carry una come? Okay. Which person should you mention your name? Ugba DPO. Na carry una come. Okay. Na Ugba DPO carry una come. Okay, no problem. Okay. I know that they stay. You know, please come. Are you in Nigeria? Huh? Are you in Nigeria? Why the time you say see your ID card? Bring the ID card. Come. Give me. Call the person when you want to call. DPO for Ugba. Okay. No, sorry. Where did DPO get you? Yes. Yeah, video. Oh, bueno. What do you want to tell that with the hungry? Hey, stop. You know what we do now? We go drop now for station.
ṣé iná ń gbọ́ wọn ní àwọn tún wá gbé lọ station iná lẹ́sìn gbọ́ lẹ́nu ẹ̀ tó ní DPO kan ló gbẹ̀yìn gbẹ́bọjẹ́ ló gbàbọ̀dé á ṣe gọ̀ báyìí náà òkè wọ́n ṣe gọ̀ báyìí náà ṣùgbọ́n lọ́rọ̀ kan ẹni tó lóun ògbóyìnbó ó pàpà sọ ó ní no wàhálà carry us dey go ó gbóyìnbó ó sì sòyìnbó ẹ jẹ́ kó ń bẹ̀ jẹ́ tún wá padà sí Kwara ọ̀rọ̀ Kwara ní wọ́ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ó ń dùn wá ó dùn ẹlẹ́dàá mi gan nítorí wípé àwọn tó rí kó yọ tọ́jọ́ ń gbá bọ́ọ̀lù a tún fẹ́ gbọ́ fásán mi lẹ́nu arákùnrin èè ó sojú ẹ̀ kòròkòrò wọ́n ń gbá bọ́ọ̀lù lọ́wọ́ làwọn ará bíi ìyáde bó o ní oríṣi wa kò yọ tó ń borí yìí ṣùgbọ́n tí àwọn yòókù bá lọ.
Other people, we see them plenty uncountable motorcycle. Before we should just run, come to this main road, we see them. They already took direction. Plenty. You understand that? We can't run. We start to take on move. We are running.
They came on bike.
All of them.
Like and how many are they on bike?
They cannot just mention. If I mention that this is the number of the bike, I like to because there are numerous bike. 2 on top of bike. Some people there were 3 with AK-47. No mercy. On our way coming back to home, we tell our parents that bandits are coming to attack the Waro community. Everybody just say, some people just say no, they want to come and preach because they say that they wanted to come here and preach before. On Friday, we wait for that Friday, they don't come. They just come on Tuesday. You understand? That is why some people just take that opportunity. Maybe preach, they won't come preach. Before we should know, they just start to be shooting people. We that the day we come go enter one of our player room. We reach almost 24 of our people we hide for that place. You understand? Then some of our parents, they inside room. Some people run into the bush. People are running. They just following there and shooting there. Shooting people. If you can just see this mirror at the bone of our shops, our houses. Carry our wives, our mothers, children into the bush. And they were uncountable. They were uncountable now. They did for that bush. They carry our emir. They carry his vehicle. Almost 3 vehicles for this community. They just carry the vehicle with those ladies, small children. Some women, they were pregnant women. They just carry them to bush. Up to date, there is not any information.
Have they been coming to preach here before?
They never come here to preach.
But they say that they will come and preach. That is what people are expecting. You understand? So that is why numerous people did not run, because they said they will come here and preach. We just use that opportunity of preaching to stay. By that time, we just see hearing they are just shooting people.
Abẹ́rẹ́ ṣé wọ́n wá preach fún wọn àbọ̀n preach fún wọn wọ́n preach fún wọn náà ni preaching kú. Abẹ́wà rídìí tí ajá olúwo fi ń pariwo pé káwọn ọmọ ilé kéwúrè mọ́ kọ́ ìbọn ṣé ń tán fẹ́ fi ṣeré. Ó rẹ̀ jẹ́ kó mẹ́jà tẹ̀síwájú ẹjẹ́ àdọ́dọ̀ àwọn aráàlú. Bàbá kan ló ga òun sókè ó dùn gan wípé lẹ́yìn ìgbà tí ṣẹlẹ̀ tán rí yàn mú àwọn tí wọ́n fèèlì wa tán ó tó yẹ kán lo intelligence láti dáàbò bo aráàlú rí kankan múnú wọn rí kankan fi jófin nú wọn. Ẹ tún kó àwọn àmì lọ àwọn àmì tún wọgbó wọn ní àwọn bòròrò náà kó jáde àwọn tán jí gbé lọ nínú wọn rí kankan kó jáde. Ó dáa èyí tó jẹ́ under my put tó jẹ́ igbákejì ààrẹ báàrẹ ò tiẹ̀ lè yọjú síbẹ̀ wọ́n lọ gbéyàwó ọlọ́mọ 10 tí ń ṣègbéyàwó lọ́jọ́ kan ṣoṣo fún ọmọ rẹ̀ yẹn ìtọ́nà mínísítà wọn Minister of Defence Mẹ́tawálé. Ṣé kò wá yẹ kí ẹni tẹ́ ẹ rán lọ náà mójú kó tiẹ̀ dé wọ́rọ̀? Kí ni Ìlọrin ṣé Ìlọrin nìkan ti ṣẹlẹ̀ ni?
In a country like Nigeria, it's very sad, and that's why I was sad that the VP visited Kwara and refused to go step his foot there. It's very sad.
Did they give any reason why?
I don't know. Whatever reason it is, he's gone to Niger. He's gone to Mokwa. He's gone to see people and empathize with them. But he refused to go there. So for me, the state governor went. He went in the night, in the dead of the night, and that's commendable. He went there for 2 a.m. When he reached Kayama, after visiting the emir, they told him. He said, "Where is the place?" And they told him, and he drove there that night about 2-3 p.m. I commend his guts. If the governor can do that, what's stopping the vice president taking a chopper from Kwara, Ilorin, to that place? And then, of course, the new Busa is there, where you have Nigerian Air Force, you have airport there. So it's very sad.
Ọ̀kan ní ẹrù ní bà á ṣùgbọ́n kan lọ́dọ̀ àwọn kan wọ́n ní ọwọ́wọ́wọ́ ni wọ́n ní ẹsẹ̀ gan wọnú ẹsẹ̀. Ó dá ẹja tẹ̀síwájú. Ọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà wà complicated. The more you look, the less you see. Ẹjẹ́ àgbàbẹ̀ dé South Africa. Ṣùgbọ́n ìkànnà ọmọ Nàìjíríà náà la fẹ́ lọ bá ń bẹ́ bó tiẹ̀ jẹ́ pé wọ́n náà ti pa òun náà ń gbé jáde. Nandu náà fẹ́ gbé lọ sí hospital láti inú mọ́tò yìí o. Wọ́n láwọn wo ló pa wọ́n ní àwọn ọlọ́pàá abẹ gangan ló pa làwọn èèyàn bá fi gbé bọ́nú ìgbé àbòsí wọ́n ní ẹlẹ́yàmẹ̀yà ní o wọ́n yé ti àwọn ẹ̀sìn mọ̀ wípé béèyàn ò bá farabalẹ̀ tẹ́tí gbọ́ ìdí abájọ gangan èyí ó tètè bìlíìfù nítorí pé kì í ṣe ní kì í sànà kì í ṣe ìdúnta kí tiẹ̀ ṣe sí ló bẹ̀rẹ̀ tí South Africa ti ń fojú ọmọ Nàìjíríà gbólẹ̀ bó tiẹ̀ jẹ́ wípé ọmọ Nàìjíríà náà nílọ pàápàá jùlọ tó bá ti jẹ́ wípé gbogbo ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ náà orí àwọn ọmọ Ìgbò ló dálé lórí wọ́n ní gan wọ́n dí ẹ̀rù wọ́n ní òun náà ló dín fáfẹ́lẹ́ tó ṣẹlẹ̀ èyí tó fi sọ pé ìkànnú àwọn tí ń gbógun olóró ni arákùnrin ṣùgbọ́n àwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà tó wà káàkiri ibi tí ṣẹlẹ̀ ti ṣẹlẹ̀ pàápàá jùlọ àwọn tó súnmọ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bá a ṣe ń gbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́nu wọn wọ́n lé láíláí eléyìí kì í ṣe criminal ẹ provide ẹni tó yìnbọn.
Papa Boka, don't look. Don't look at the aka. Those people will never come inside here. Don't do that.
Don't take us a picture. Don't take us a picture.
Okay.
Don't take us a picture. A picture.
No, it's unfair. Come on, he's not a criminal. No, okay. No. We will prevent those questions. Provide that guy. Who shot the gun? Provide who shot the gun. Provide who shot the gun. Provide who shot the gun. Provide who shot the gun.
Òun náà láti rí yẹn o, wọ́n ní out of racism, wọ́n ní kì í sọ̀rọ̀ wípé arákùnrin jẹ́ criminal. Torí ẹ̀ nìkan nù wọ́n ṣe ń pariwo lé lórí wípé ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ mú ẹni tó yìnbọn yẹn wá síta kó wá fi ẹ̀rí ẹ̀ hàn wípé criminal ni. Ó mà ṣe o, ṣé wọ́n ṣe máa pa àwọn èèyàn ṣe rèrè, wọ́n ṣàfẹ́ lé gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà kúrò ní South Africa. Kẹ́yìn náà máa bọ̀ nílé ẹ̀kọ́ ń bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ̀kọ́ ń bẹ́ẹ̀ ń táyìn náà dánwò náà tá à ń gbọ́ lọ́hùn. Ó mà ṣe o. Àyà ni wọ́n ń pa wọ́n lé, wọ́n tún ń pa wọ́n láwọn òkè òkun láfíríkà, ìyẹn South Africa, pé sódà bẹ́ẹ̀.
Yes. Yeah. No. You shot it. Yeah.
Where's the ambulance?
Yes. No, but let us don't say that. Don't do that shit, man. Don't do that shit. Don't do that shit. Don't do that shit. Don't do that shit now. Don't do that shit. 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 You're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. No. You're not going anywhere. No, let me come. No, come. No.
Abẹ́ẹ̀rí ṣe ni wọ́n sì fi nǹkan dí ojú pápápá, kò sẹ́ni tó lè rojú wọn, wọ́n tún ti ń kọ́ kì í mọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ wo bí ẹni pé wọ́n fẹ́ pa àwọn yòókù, wọ́n nìkan kú ìkan kù. Wọ́n nìkan wà ní critical condition, ìkejì rẹ̀ ti gbẹ́mìí mi, ó mà ṣe o. Àwọn wo ní tíjọba Nàìjíríà ò tún ṣe. Àwọn aráalé gan-an sọ́tì ìmọ̀jútó aráalé tó di pa ara àtàná wà lọ ohun tó ṣe hàn. Intelligence ń fèlì ńlé onáre o. CCTV camera intelligence ń fèlì àwọn tó yẹ kán dáàbò bò ńlé. Ẹ tún wo àwọn tìta tán lè struggle tán lè hustle wá. Bébí tẹbílé ò bá gbé ní ìta òṣùwọ̀n. Ṣé wọ́n wà ṣé Nàìjíríà rójú ráàyè ẹni tó wà ńlé gan sọ́tì ìgbèjà ẹni tó wà ńlé débi pé wọ́n gbèjà ẹni tó wà ńta. Ẹ wo ń wò fẹ́ gbọ́ gàǹgídán búndì nkankan. Ìkànnì àwọn olórí yín rẹ̀ tó kọ́rọ̀ jọ mi ti ẹ̀rọ wípé bóyá Dínú mi láyé nìkan ni mo kó ọ̀rọ̀ ọjọ́ ni. Àlímọ̀ Ṣẹ̀rífù àbí kí náà ń pe Àlímọ́dù Ṣẹ̀rífù tán ní òun gangan lólórí tán fẹ̀sùn kàn pé òun gangan ló bẹ̀rẹ̀ Boko Haram. Ẹ ti rántí kó tó di wípé kú òun bẹ́ẹ̀ kí under my foot kó tó gbàjọba lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀ nígbà náà tó náà ṣe gómìnà Borno náà ní ilé rẹ̀ rèé o. Ẹjọ́ ta ló ń kọ́ ilé ilẹ̀ fún jẹ́lé ìgbọ́n ò fẹ́ẹ̀ ju gbogbo state house lọ nígbà tó ṣèjọba ṣé state house wọ́n fine tó yìí. Adẹ̀ ń wòran.
See their under bridge now. See under bridge for north. See under bridge for north. See under bridge for north. Under bridge no wey be like recreational center. Omo. See if una dey lie for us for news, no una dey tell us truth sef o. Na Nigeria dey like this. No, una no dey show us fake things for news. Me, I think say north na place wey be say bush just plenty everywhere. Everywhere na bush. I go see cow here. I go see cow here. Na wetin I think be that o. I no know say I go come UK o. See their weather. I gats to wear these two clothes. Make phone dey catch me. I gats to wear am. Omo. I'm amazed. Chivo, Ọlọ́run sẹ́, àwọn people you can't do what I say. They say, if you don't see something with your eye, you don't believe. See eye.
Arákùnrin yìí ọmọ nǹkan kan ó yà lẹ́nu ó rò pé ilé Haúsá náà bó ṣe máa ń sọ wípé wọ́n tòsí àwọn náà ní city. Ó mọ bí títí wọ́n ṣe fẹ̀ tó ní ó mọ bí roundabout wọ́n ṣe máa ń fẹ̀ bó dé Sókótó náà bó ṣe gbin gbogbo ẹ̀ lọ wọ́n tiẹ̀ máa ń gbégi dáadáa ń bẹ̀ wọ́n. Àwọn náà ní wọ́n sì máa ń fún iná máa wà ń bẹ̀ wọ́n dáadáa. Ilẹ̀ Yorùbá lẹ̀ ti níná ó yà lẹ́nu ó rò pé inú gbó nìkan kìjìkìjì ni. Ṣùgbọ́n ìyẹn ò wá sọ wípé wọn ta alákàbí èkúté ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì o sórí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn ọmọ àlùmọ̀ǹjèrì tó yẹ kán rán skul ẹjẹ́ àti ẹ̀fojú warí kan gangan tó tún ń ṣe bàbá sí Àtíkù ó sì fẹ́ di president kò sì mójútó àwọn ọmọ yẹn kò ràn bọ́n sí lọ skul.
What? You are a scammer. How do you operate?
Fake transfer, sir.
Just narrate it.
It's just it's an app.
Okay.
Wait.
I'm listening. Okay.
It's just an app.
Okay.
You send a message.
Speak up.
Send message.
Okay.
It goes, but the money doesn't enter.
Okay.
Yes, that's it, sir.
And that's it.
What app do you use?
I don't. It's just an
Providence Bank. Is that what you said?
Providence Bank.
You use Providence Bank?
Yes.
How do you do it? How do
It's
you
just
do
an app.
it? You clone Providence app?
No, it's just an app.
I need to know because
Look at the camera.
I need to know
No, sir, it's
how
just
you
an
do
app.
it.
It's just an app.
Let me see the app. Can you give him the phone?
This is the app, sir.
So this is the app.
Yellow ni Providence Bank.
Even where you work. Providence Bank.
Let the phone face me and camera. Okay. I'm just going
I don't know that. I don't believe
So it's now show successful with the person's number, account number. Yes. So that person will now be waiting for alert to come. Alert that will never come.
So I want to delete it.
Raphael what?
Nelly.
Nelly, that's your real name. Where do you stay?
Bagada.
Okpeodu, Bagada.
Yes.
Okay. Iyanaworo, right? Yes. Okay. What is your occupation? To scam people. What do you do before you start scamming?
I work in a hotel, Lagos Continental.
Lagos Continental. That's where you work. Yes. So what happened to employment?
No, because they destroyed our home, sir.
They destroyed your home. Who destroyed your
home? They bought the place.
They bought the place.
Yeah, so everything.
What's his name?
Raphael. You mentioned his name.
Yes,
Raphael
Nelly.
Yes, sir.
Aya ní ọ̀gá mi kílẹ̀ ń ro ẹ̀fẹ́ mọ̀ káànú ẹ̀ mo ní mi ò káànú ẹ̀ Nàìjíríà ni mò ń káànú torí mo ń wò wípé irú eléyìí ní ìsìn bóyá prison ni ó tún end up sí ọdún mẹ́wàá 20 years ó lè mọ́ kó ń bẹ̀ tàbí kán fi ṣe pàṣípààrọ̀ ẹni tó fẹ́ pa ẹni tó yẹ kán lo ọpọlọ orí ẹ̀ kán fi ṣe nǹkan gidi n tó máwọn sínétọ̀ yín mọ̀ sákiri nìyẹn tó láwọn ò fẹ́ kí wọ́n fọwọ́ sí electronic transfer of results ṣùgbọ́n báyìí ọ̀rọ̀ ti pèsè jẹ́ ọ̀rọ̀ ti dìhùn nílé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin o.
As journalists, it is our duty to call out any arm of government that doesn't serve the interests of the Nigerian people. And the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria right now is not serving the interests of the people. Because when President Tinubu sends bills to them, executive memos and all of that, they do that in one day. How come the Electoral Act that we have guarantee a free, fair and credible election is not being given much attention to? So apart from the ADC saying this, we as journalists, we need to call the APC to order. Because we know that when this party was in opposition, they kicked against everything. They abused everyone. They ensured that the institutions of state were put under pressure to be able to deliver the sort of elections that eventually brought it to power. So why is the APC not taking the issues of for example, the electronic transmission of election results seriously? Because that's what Nigerians are asking for. And in conclusion, the APC, through the National Assembly, both the Senate and the House of Reps should know that the legitimacy they derive is from the Nigerian people. And once they lose that legitimacy, there's no how to walk freely on the streets of Nigeria. So if Nigerians are yearning for free, fair and credible election, this is where it starts from. Because INEC cannot roll out...
Abala òtọ́rọ̀ odidi òtọ́rọ̀ ló gbé kalẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n nú àkójọpọ̀ ròyìn lónìí arákùnrin tẹ́ ń wo ìkànnì àwọn sẹ́nitọ̀ yìí ni ó ti tú àṣírí àpábíò gbogbo ń tán ṣètìlẹ́fijó gbogbo ń tán jọ sọ nídàkọ́ńkọ́ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ transfer and transmission of electronic results ó ti tú síta o. Ó ní àpábíò ń parọ́ ni àti gbogbo ẹni tẹ́ bá gbọ́ lẹ́nu ẹ̀ tó sọ wípé àwọn ò yọ kúrò ń bẹ́ẹ̀ ó ní irọ́ ni bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni protest ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ l'Àbújá gbogbo ẹ̀ ẹ jẹ́ àsọ dínú àkójọpọ̀ ìròyìn ṣùgbọ́n ẹ tẹ́tí lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ kẹ́ ẹ fojú sọ́nà sí abala tí arákùnrin tá a ti lo ìròyìn arákùnrin ó tú àṣírí àpábíò. Òun ló jẹ́ àmọ́ wípé ilé-ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin House of Rep pé àwọn ti tọwọ́ bọ̀ wọ́n ti yanjú ẹ̀ pátápátá wọ́n ti sọ wípé àwọn máa fọwọ́ sí àwọn sì máa sọ́dọ̀fin tó ń jẹ́ electronic transfer of result. Ó ní ó dọ́dọ̀ àwọn lọ́rọ̀ dí lọ́rọ̀ pèsè jẹ́ náà bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní wá ọgbọ́n àlùmọ̀kọ́rọ́ yìí láti dá àwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà lágbónú. Ṣùgbọ́n ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn ò fọwọ́ sí kò represent àwọn ní tó wá sọ fẹ́yìn ọmọ Nàìjíríà ń ta o. ó dá ẹjẹ́ àtẹ̀síwájú ẹjẹ́ àdé ibi pàtí lábágán ní Ṣèyí Módì àti lọ́ọ̀yà Dèjì Adéyanjú ó mú fìlà lé lọ́wọ́ ló bá ti fìlà dànù mo ní kí ló dé àṣebọ́n fọ́n fìlà ní sẹ́rù ń bọ̀ ni pé bóyá wọ́n ti fi nǹkan sínú fìlà wọ́n ní lógo olódòdó ọ̀yọ́ mandate ló wà ń bẹ̀ Dèjì Adéyanjú bá yarí wípé ẹ̀yìn àti ta ni àwọn jọ wà ń pa tí ò mí ń pé àwọn jọ wà lẹ́gbẹ́ kan lẹ́jẹ́ àkó ń bẹ́ ẹjẹ́ àdóṣogbo níbi tá a tún ti rí tí tírélà ń wọ́ kóró pín ó ń jọ bí ẹni pé ó ti bù sí méjì mu ní èèwọ̀ ní accident lẹ́nu ọjọ́ mẹ́ta Òṣogbo lélẹ́yìí ti ṣẹlẹ̀ o tẹ́ ẹ bá rí bí ìkan náà tún ṣe ṣẹlẹ̀ mọ́tò bù sí méjì ní èmi ò mọ̀ bí tẹ́lẹ̀ ti ṣẹlẹ̀ ní tiẹ̀ wà bẹ́ẹ̀ rí mọ́tò bù méjì ní. ẹ wo kékeré lẹ rí yẹn ẹjẹ́ lọ sọ́dọ̀ àwọn onífẹ̀rari ẹ rí i pé civic center là ń wò lọ́ọ̀kan yẹn Jeffrey Benson ló kọ rẹ̀ ìkànnà àwọn trade forex ògbóǹtarìgì ni wọ́n mọ owó pọ̀ lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀ òun náà crash Ferrari SF90 Ferrari lẹ̀ ń wò ǹjẹ́ mọ ìtàn ta ẹ lọ́n yọ gbogbo òróró abẹ́ rẹ̀ ló fọ́dà síta wọ́n ní 1.5 to 1.9 billion ń tà 1.5 to 1.9 billion naira 2022 model ni o. àyà mi ní ìrẹ́ rẹ̀ jẹun yóò tán ó ń wá bẹ́kùnbẹ́kùn kiri ní o pẹ́ fílẹ̀ ìṣẹ́kì ìpààyàn ayọ̀ ní ìpààyàn o kò sí bó ṣe lówó tó tí 1.5 billion bá jáde nínú owó tó kó jọ ìwọ tó kó ó sì lè mọ sì jẹ gbèsè lórí ẹ o ó lè mọ ní another 1.5 billion pamọ́ o kò yí sí bá ná.
bó ṣe ń lòdù bá bó ṣe kó bọ̀dá ní àwọn ọmọ Nancy.
ṣé ẹ ti gbọ́ lẹ́nu rẹ̀ àwọn ọmọ Nancy àti kóńbi tí mọ́tò ti láksidẹ̀ntì àwọn student association Nigeria student association rèé o àwọn ọmọ Nancy náà kó bọ̀dá nítorí pé wọ́n ń ṣe convention àwọn student yìí abalajọ ẹlẹgbọn nǹkan kan tó níláárí lẹ́nu wọn nípa ọ̀rọ̀ òṣèlú ó dùn mọ́ wọn wọ́n ń jẹ mùlá wọ́n ń jẹ tọ̀ìtọ̀ì lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ àwọn náà ń ṣèjọba ṣé kó máa lo bẹ́ẹ̀ àwọn school àwọn ọmọ wóbè àwọn ọmọ wóbè mo gbọ́ information. ẹ wo àtúbọ̀tán Nàìjíríà ni mo fi ń kọrin yìí àtúbọ̀tán Nàìjíríà ìlú tó bá máa soríire lọ́jọ́ iwájú ó gbọ́dọ̀ ní ọjọ́ ọ̀la gidi sàn ọmọ ọjọ́ ọ̀la yín náà rè kò wá ayò wá gba àwọn tọpọlọ wọn pé ayò gbà wọ́n ń lu ìmọ̀. ó rà níbẹ̀ jẹ́ àyà lọ́dọ̀ Sowore nílé ẹjọ́ ní àmọ́ tó tún bá ìjì ìfà o ó ní ìgbà tán fóun sí àhámọ́ lọ́jọ́ sí ó lóun pàdé arákùnrin kan tó jẹ́ wípé òun ló ń gbààyàn Ponzi scheme òun ní gbààyàn ó ní òun wá ń fẹ̀sùn kan IGP pé wọ́n ń wòran wọ́n mú tó fi ń gbààyàn wọ́n gbà láàyè ó mọ̀ fẹ́ dìjà ń bí ìkànnà àwọn lọ́ọ̀yà Nnamdi Kanu ó ló ń ṣe agbẹjọ́rò fún àwọn tó ń gbà ṣùgbọ́n ó fẹ́ dìjà ń bí o.
The highest of its kind in this country. We are talking about over $100 million, where somebody used a particular platform to dupe Nigerians, and these are the victims of the crime. So these are the victims of the crime. Can you stop? These are the victims of the crime. This is the highest crime. This is the highest crime. This is the highest crime. See, put your mic. This is the highest
ṣé cameraman ti gbàbọ̀dé ní.
Social media, taking up pictures and videos, right, airing out fake stories
that Abayomi did not steal money. Abayomi has never been arrested for one day. The police scripted the whole job. It was a prank. We keep saying, hey, if you think Abayomi didn't steal money, why not go to the police station and ask the police officers who investigated the case, or go to court where the case is and do your finding.
ẹjẹ́ àfẹ́lẹ́ ìkárẹ̀ gbogbo rẹ̀ lè labala lérèfé níbi tí ọ̀gbẹ́ni Peter tí mo sọ fún àwọn aláṣẹ àwọn olórí Nàìjíríà wípé orí burúkú lẹ̀ ń ṣe ti rántí rẹ̀ ó fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ nípa rẹ̀ nù mọ́kìrì ṣùgbọ́n ọ̀rọ̀ ń bọ̀ o nínú àkójọpọ̀ ròyìn ó sọ ìyàlọ́yọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ sí ìyàwó ààrẹ ṣùgbọ́n ìyàwó ààrẹ náà dá lóhùn. Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà lẹ́sùn gan ni rẹ̀ lára àwọn tó ń ṣe protest tán lọ sí Senate tán láwọn ò ní gbà òbí náà wà nù wọn òbí kékeré ń ké.
A person went there, one of the only Nigerians who has been able to achieve that feat, to go and investigate and confirm that the president is a known drug lord. And guess what? The president has appointed that person to be an ambassador. So once Reno Omokri goes to a country where he's sent to, the first thing he should do is to go and meet the head of state and tell them that the person who sent me to you is a person I investigated and confirmed is a drug lord, but I have taken an appointment from him.
But he has said he has apologized behind closed doors.
Is it
that he made a mistake?
No, is it an apology, or it is that investigation findings were wrong? It was mischievous. And if it was mischievous and wrong, have the president come out to state clearly what the facts are, and why did you now appoint him? Was it a reward or a shut-up project? What exactly was it? So Nigerians have good reason to be weary of almost everybody who is talking about Nigeria to be good today was at some point a freedom fighter. Imagine Adams Oshomole, the NLC president of Oshomole. Today, Oshomole is the person who will tell you when you come to our party, your sins are forgiven. Oshomole is in the committee on electoral reform. Oshomole is in the committee on appropriation that is supposed to investigate NNPC. What is going on? So for Nigerians, for me, I will continue to do what I need to do. On the mandate of a better Nigeria, I stand. And Nigeria will work in my lifetime. To yourself, be true. The opinions of others are their businesses. I will continue to try to stand to what I believe is true. And I know that the truth is enough. In one word, I think a political fraud.
So, sir, ẹ ká sọ kí ni orúkọ yín sá. ẹ má bẹ orúkọ mi lè bá lọ fi wá mi kiri lọ́hùn. Ebi ń pa wá nọ́mbà wán. Ẹ wo bí Dàpọ̀ gómìnà wa kò ṣe kọ́kọ́ ibi iṣẹ́ ló ń fowó plaza ló fi owó ṣe ní òkè mọ̀sán ṣé ẹ kó wí bẹ́ẹ̀ nọ́mbà wán nìyẹn o. Lábẹ́lẹ̀ àtòrí Tinubu tí ń sọ pé kò ń pọ̀wé epo. Àwọn yàwó kásìlọ̀ ń gbowó ọ̀yàwó wá ti dolóṣó oúnjẹ tẹ́lẹ̀ ò ká mọ́ o.
Ẹ ká sọ sáà.
Kí ló kọ́ ẹ mà?
Orúkọ mi ni Olúwatóyìn ọ̀rẹ́ Olúwa.
Ọ̀rọ̀ ìsìnkú kí ni ẹ lè sọ nípa ohun tó ṣẹlẹ̀ lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́?
Àwọn tó ṣẹlẹ̀ lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà owó tí ẹ sọ́tẹ̀ pé tiẹ̀ lè ṣẹlẹ̀ nítorí ìyàwó ilé ṣe lọ́dẹ̀ ń kiri ààrẹ owó ṣiṣẹ́ epo wọn àwọn kọ́ wa gan ṣe ló ń sùn kiri gan ni ìyà ń jẹ́wọ́ ìyà yìí pọ̀ ju ìyà yìí ó ti pọ̀ jù ó pọ̀ ìyà yìí pọ̀ ọmọ iléèwé gan ààrẹ owó skul san ẹni mínírà mo dẹ̀ ń kiri ìyàwó létí oníṣẹ́ ni mo di o ṣọ́ọ̀bù wọn ti wo agbàgbọ́dọ̀ ní mínírà ìyà yìí ti pọ̀ jù àbíkẹ́ ṣàánú wa o ẹ bá àwọn ìjọba wa kọ́ ṣe dáadáa kò sọ́jà kò sówó lù ó ti súwé bí ti pọ̀ jù ká àjẹlẹ̀ ṣolóṣo ọgbọ̀kọ̀ tà mọ́.
Kí ni àmọ̀ràn yín fún ààrẹ orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà?
Bọ́dá wa Tinubu ọ̀nà àwọn lọ́kàn ni o ní gbogbo wa dẹ̀ fi sanwó pọ̀ láti sọ́kọ́ bá wa ṣe dáadáa àwọn gbogbo ṣe ṣe kò ń gbà yẹn pé máa lè ṣe lẹ́yìn náà dáadáa ṣùgbọ́n ó ti kán gbogbo wa báyìí wọn ṣe dáadáa mọ́ o wọn ṣe dáadáa mọ́ láì tó ṣe pé ọlọ́mọṣẹ́ ti yóò tì mọ́ ọmọṣẹ́ òde ti jẹun lókun báyìí ebi ń padà lù kọ́ bá wa tún ṣe ní à ń bẹ̀ wọ́n ní àṣàkọ kọ́ mọ́ ìkẹ́wọ̀ obìnrin ká má bọ́ ta ní òwò bá wọn wí o tọ́lọ́ ti sú wa báyìí ó ti sú wa o àmọ́ bí ta fẹ́ gbà wọ́n sá ṣàánú wa kọ́ ṣàánú wa o ẹlòmíì báyìí ọkọ̀ ẹ̀ báyìí ọpọ́ ni ẹlòmíì náà mọ márùn-ún ọ̀nà mọ mẹ́ta irú èmi yìí akọ mi kò síṣẹ́ lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀ ọlọ́kadà ni adẹ̀nà ọmọ márùn-ún kí la bá fi kún ẹ̀rọ owó iléèwé san ẹ ṣàánú mi o kọ́ ṣàánú mi o àánú là ń béèrè o kọ́ ṣàánú wa.
This is a hospital room. Show them around. Hospital room. It's okay. Look, I have my table one side here. I have a TV. Okay, come. Let me show you the view. Come. Let me show you the view. I have my couch. This is my couch. Come. Look at the view. Look at the view. It's okay. This is hospital. They just brought me fried rice and chicken. I just finished it. So tell me, you think say I will get well soon? That like I will spend 1 month here.
Iṣẹ́ wa fúnlẹ̀ wa fún ilẹ̀ ìbí wa kàgbéga fàyè rí. Ìgbàgbọ́ wa ni pé tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ ni ọgbà ti bẹ̀rù làbọ̀ mọ́. Ká ṣiṣẹ́ ká jọlá. ìṣọ̀kan àtòmìnira yẹn ló kù àkú báyìí ní kẹjẹ ká máa lépa tẹ̀síwájú fọ̀pọ̀ ire àtòhun tó dára ọmọ Oòduà dìde àtọmọ Yorùbá tóró ti pín sí méjì báyìí wọn lọmọ Oòduà là ń pè ọmọ Yorùbá àtọmọ Oòduà dìde bọ̀ sípò ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ ìwọ ni èmi ni gbogbo wa ní ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀ ó sì ṣe Ọlọ́run ti pín wa ó ti pín wa pẹ̀lú èdè kan náà dálẹ́tì ló yàtọ̀ a lè pínra wa kò wá tán bí ṣùgbọ́n àwọn kan wà láàrin ìwà tó jẹ́ pàrọ̀ gangan náà ń ṣe agbódegbà fún ìyapa fún division wọn fẹ́ kẹ́nu kò wọn fẹ́ kí a ní ìṣọ̀kan bí ò bá sì sí ìṣọ̀kan kò lè sí ìlọsíwájú mi ò mọ̀ ìgbà tá a fẹ́ tẹnu mọ́ orin ní ìtumọ̀ tó ní ìkìmí nínú gan gidi ni mẹ́yàn bá ronú lórí orin yẹn ṣùgbọ́n àwọn ò gba ẹrú àṣì ẹrú bí ọmọ mọ́ o kò jọ ẹrú lẹrú ọmọ jẹ́ á fi ẹrú sípò ẹrú ni torí wọ́n ti fẹ́ gba ipò ọmọ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá wọ́n sì ń gúnlẹ̀ garagaragara ìwà ẹrú ò sì lè fi ẹrú lẹ̀ torí ẹ̀bọ́n ṣe sọ wípé ọmọ ẹrú ni wọ́n bá gbé wọn sórí bẹ́ẹ̀dì wọ́n jábọ́ lẹ́yìn àpọ́nlé àbùkù ló kàn àbùkù láàmú fi kan àwọn ọmọ ẹrú yìí wọ́n ti gbédè wa lóòótọ́ wọ́n ti ń jẹ́ oríkì wa in fact wọ́n ti ń kílèmù ìdílé nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ṣùgbọ́n ọmọ ẹrú lọmọ ẹrú ó máa jẹ́ ìwà wọn ló máa fi wọ́n hàn gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ ẹrú torí ìwà baba ńlá baba wọn tó bí wọn kó tó di wípé a fọwọ́ gbà wọ́n a fààyè gbà wọ́n láàrin wa ṣùgbọ́n báyà ní tírìtì ọmọ ẹrú gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ ọkọ mọ́ torí wọ́n ní ilé tó bá ń tòrò ọmọ àlebẹ̀ ò tí ì dàgbà ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tó ń tòrò tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ rí tá a fi ń bára wá ṣe àti kìrìsìtẹ́nì àti mùsùlùmí àwọn ọmọ àlebẹ̀ ò tí ì dàgbà ní ṣùgbọ́n ní ìsìn wọ́n ti dàgbà ọ̀nà ń da ilẹ̀ Yorùbá rú bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ti wá gbọ́ bó ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ kẹ́ ẹ ti mọ̀ wípé àmì ìdánimọ̀ ọmọ ọkọ àtọmọ àlè yóò hàn gedegbe yóò yá kò ní yẹlẹ mú kí n káàbọ̀ sínú ìròyìn tòní mo kí n káàbọ̀ sínú pàdé ọlọ́mọlé ọlọ́mọ ìlú ọlọ́mọ orílẹ̀-èdè tòní níbi tí ọmọdé ti mọ́ ọ̀tá tí ń bágbà jẹun wọn ní ọmọdé gbọ́n àgbàgbọ́n láìdálà ìfẹ́ ọwọ́ ọmọdé ò tó pẹpẹ tàgbàlagbà owó kèrègbè à ń kọ́mọ lùbọ ní àtọmọdé àtàgbàlagbà ọgbọ́n wa ṣe kókó èmi náà ni mò ń jẹ́ ibà rìn gínigíní tí kú mi ti kú yorùn gínigíní bá ìbọ̀bọ̀ yín náà rèé o ìbọ̀bọ̀ rèé ìbọ̀bọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ náà lẹ́lẹ̀ pè mí ó dán ọlọ́bọ̀nbọ̀n ẹran ti kòkòrò ọlọ́bọ̀nbọ̀n tí mo dún oyè yẹn ló rán létí kòkòrò ọlọ́bọ̀nbọ̀n ẹ lè pè mí ní ibà bọ́bí lọ́bì ibà kà síwájú èmi náà ni mò ń jẹ́ ibà sàn láàrin ajé ní mú ní pẹ́kọ̀rọ̀ jọ bàbá tí kófìrí ẹni tí ò rìn sàn pẹ̀lú rẹ̀ ìwọ náà mọ́sẹ̀ mi ṣe kiri sàn pẹ̀lú rẹ̀ ẹ tún lè pè mí ní ibà pakọ̀kọ̀ àwọn òpin ọkọ̀ àwọn sweet 16 ibà pàpọ̀ parada yín náà rí ibi táyà ti parada ti ń dọ̀gá rẹ̀ ọ̀gá rẹ̀ parada ò dá àyánu abala comment section abẹ́lẹ̀ yín olólùfẹ́ wa èmi náà ni mò ń jẹ́ ibà kà síwájú ibà sanjú abẹ́ǹkó ibà ṣẹ́lálàyé ibà fayọ̀pọ̀tì ibà confam àmọ́ ẹ̀kọ́ tó sẹ̀ǹdẹ̀ ibà inú mi dùn ibà yọ̀ mí kún èmi náà ni mò ń jẹ́ ibà múlùdùn yín o ibà rìn gínigíní tí kú mi àti kòyò rìn gínigíní tí kú mi àti ngòyò rìn gínigíní ibà ọkọ̀ òpèkè ọkọ̀ pàkà èmi náà ni mò ń jẹ́ ibà àlẹ́jẹ́lì ibà rìpọ̀tẹ́lì gbogbo tẹ́ bá gbọ́ lórí ìkànnì kí ni o àlẹ́jẹ́lì rìpọ̀tẹ́lì ní ọwọ́ tàbùkù èèyàn kankan o àfi ń pàkíyèsí ara wa sí ni o bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni ẹ lè pè mí ní ibà kéde fún Yorùbá Nation fóòdù àníṣàn káfàtà ó dá gbogbo eléyìí tẹ́ bá pàdé nù Abala Lerefe ayọjú lójú fèrèsé ni ó ti wá dàbí ẹ̀yìn tẹ̀gún fi sọ ẹjẹ́ àmọ́ wọlé ńkọ̀ọ̀kan èjèèjì sínú àkórí ìròyìn ibi tá a ti mọ́ dami tútù wájú ká lè tẹ̀lẹ̀ tútù bá a bá dénú àkójọpọ̀ ròyìn àfẹ́ lójú bá a bá dénú àkójọpọ̀ ròyìn alákọ̀ọ́kọ́ ń bẹ̀ ilé ìgbìmọ̀ asòfin láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ariwo wọ́n ní ilé ìgbìmọ̀ asòfin bẹ̀rù nítorí wọ́n ti ń gbọ́ páwọn èèyàn fẹ́ protest àwọn orúkọ tán sì rí lórí list wọ́n ló bá wọn lẹ́rù gan-an ó mú ẹ̀rù jìnnìjìnnì bà wọ́n nínú egungun mo ló dáa bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n ní wọ́n ti pe ìpàdé pàjáwìrì closed door meeting pàápàá wọ́n ní bàbá Fálànà wà ń bẹ̀ Ezekwenze kí mọ̀mọ́rúkọ mọ̀mọ́ yẹn pé àwọn náà wà ń bẹ̀ Yéṣùfù Àìṣà àwọn náà wà ń bẹ̀ wọ́n náà fẹ́ bọ̀ ń bá di ilé ìgbìmọ̀ asòfin ni àwọ̀ àwò bóyá wọ́n á dá wọn lọ́wọ́ kọ bóyá wọ́n á kó àwọn ọlọ́pàá tí wọ́n àmọ́ wò bóyá rú Fẹ́mi Fálànà náà máa ní kò ní wọlé síbẹ̀ àbí òmọ ráìtì ẹ̀ wọ́n fẹ́ rúgi oyin nìyẹn wọ́n ní àṣírí tú ìkànnì wọn ló sì wà tó àṣírí ìfáàtì àmúfọ́nrán rẹ̀ bọ̀ ẹ ti mọ ìkànnì wọn ọmọ Ìgbò ní sínétọ̀ ìmọ̀ fìlà rẹ̀ wọ́n gùn báyìí ìmọ̀ láàbù ti pẹ́ ní senate ó ní àwọn ti ṣe closed door meeting tẹ́lẹ̀ kan tó wá announce ń ta ń táwọn fẹnu kò sí ni wípé kí wọ́n fi electronic transmission of result síbẹ̀ pé ó yà wọ́n lẹ́nu ńgbà tí Akpabio tó wá dọwọ́rú pé àwọn ó sòótọ́ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn sẹ́nẹ́tọ̀ inú àwọn òdò sí torí kí ló dé ẹ̀ ń bá jẹ gbì ló máa kú gbì kí ló ń bà yín lẹ́rù wọ́n lẹ́lẹ́fọ́ ó ní ó ti yá sáré dáhùn pẹ́fọ́ òun ìṣẹ̀fọ́ àtàn bẹ́ẹ̀ bá mọ̀ wípé ẹ fẹ́ kí election kó wà free and fair kí ló dé tán ọmọ Nàìjíríà béèrè nǹkan tẹ́ẹ̀sì dáhùn à ń bọ̀ ń bẹ́ẹ̀ lónìí náà ni kò ní dọ́là bá ti wá kó ń bẹ̀ tán á wà á yà lórí tó tún jọ t'Akpabio torí lẹ́nu ọjọ́ mẹ́ta yìí ọ̀rọ̀ pé wọ́n fẹ̀sùn kan Akpabio yẹn Uduaghan Senator Natasha wípé ó fẹ́ pa òun wípé apààyàn ni iṣẹ́ mọ̀ pé ó sì lárábìnrin kan tó kú ńgbà kan ọmọ skul kan ní tán ló ń wáṣẹ́ wọ́n náà fẹ̀sùn kan Akpabio wípé ó mọ̀ sí ẹ wò ó àwọn ọlọ́pàá wọ́n ti indict Natasha o làwọn èèyàn wá ń sọ fún wọn wípé ṣé bí Akpabio lóun ti dáríjì Natasha mú ní sẹ́yìn ògbọ́n nígbà tó tún padà lọ ilé ẹjọ́ ni lórí ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n ní rìpọ́ọ̀tì àwọn ọlọ́pàá ó indict Natasha wípé kò tiẹ̀ sí tó kan Akpabio nípa ọmọbìnrin tó kú yẹn wọ́n ní ẹni tó pa ọmọ yẹn Akpan lókọ rẹ̀ ń jẹ́ mo ní ó jọra wọn Akpan Akpabio ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n ní practically wọ́n lè forúkọ orúkọ wọn gan ò jọra ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ Akpan yàtọ̀ s'Akpabio wípé ṣùgbọ́n eléyìí ìdí tán ṣe wá mú orúkọ Akpabio mọ́ wọ́n ní kò sẹ̀yìn Natasha torí ẹni tó rè competition lòdì sí àwọn àjọ ajàfẹ́tọ̀ọ́ ọmọnìyàn wọ́n náà realize pé Natasha ló ràn Natasha yìí náà like trouble sa à ń bọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ló lè mọ̀ fa trouble ṣùgbọ́n kó mọ̀ fi irọ́ kó mọ̀ fi wo òótọ́ o àádọ́ túyẹ̀wò àmọ́ ẹni tí ń parọ́ nù wọn àti mẹ́lẹ́ tó lè parọ́ nù wọn rẹ̀ dísùn ẹjẹ́ àtúnjọ fojú sunùkùn wò bá kó ń bẹ̀ tán àwọ̀ àdé Rivers State níbi tá a ti ń gbọ́ tí national chairman APC tún ti jáde wípé òun fẹ́ sọ ìdí táwọn ò tí officially welcome Fubara sí inú ẹgbẹ́ mo délé tẹ́ ẹ ṣe lọ́jọ́ sí ń kọ́ ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ rán minister of aviation lọ ṣé ẹ̀ tí ìwẹ́kọ̀ ọmọ ènìyàn sá ti pè ní 001 ó dáa gbogbo ọ̀nà tí Fubara fẹ́ gbà ní ìsìn kò yé mi rárá à ń bọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ àmú fọ́nrán ti national chairman wa bàbá kò ń bẹ̀ tán á padà sórí ìròyìn kan tá a mú wá fún yín yóò ti tó bí 2 weeks ní ìsìn ó múnú àwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà dùn ṣùgbọ́n báyìí omi ti tẹ̀yìn bọ̀gbìn lẹ́nu o lórí ọ̀rọ̀ prepaid meter tí minister of power tó jáde sí lọ́jọ́ sí tó ní ọ̀fẹ́ nígbàlà bẹ́ẹ̀ bá gbọ́ téèyàn kankan béèrè owó lọ́wọ́ yín ẹ tú àṣírí rẹ̀ wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ gbowó àti wá ń gbọ́ ní ìsinyìí o wọ́n ní not all electricity meters are free NEC ló sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n náà fẹ́ clarify nǹkan kan fún yín mọ́ láwa náà ti ń retí àti mọ̀ pé padà wà tẹ́lẹ̀ nǹkan sí ọ. bàbá tí wàá kó ń bẹ́ tán á yà lọ́dọ̀ àwọn afurasí ọ̀daràn tí wọ́n lọ ṣèkà l'Ógbómọ̀ṣọ́ wọ́n ní ìdí tán ṣe yalu Ọ̀yọ́ pass. àwọn afurasí ọ̀daràn tọ́wọ́ bà nígbà tán ti pa àwọn èèyàn ní Ọ̀yọ́ pass ní Ọ̀yọ́ state tán wọ́n wá ń jẹ́wọ́ wọ́n ní wọ́n mú àwọn Fúlàní ìran àwọn iye kan àwọn mẹ́ta síta wọ́n náà fẹ́ lọ gbà lẹ̀ Fúlàní mẹ́ta tó wà ní àhámọ́ àwọn aṣọ́gbó nílùú Ọlọ́ka l'Ógbómọ̀ṣọ́ la fẹ́ dá sílẹ̀ ló jẹ́ ká ṣekú pa aṣọ́gbó 5 kò tiẹ̀ ti dá bẹ́ẹ̀ tó yẹ kán tún máa gbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu wọn mọ̀ ga o. à ń bọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ àgbọ̀ àlàyé lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni bá a bá ti kó ń bẹ̀ tán á yà lọ́dọ̀ Nnamdi Kanu níbi tá a ti gbọ́ wípé ó ti prepare grand gbogbo fáìlì ẹ̀ sì jẹ́ 22 tó fẹ́ fi defend ara rẹ̀ tó fẹ́ fi pe ẹjọ́ kò tẹ́mi lọ́rùn lòdì sí ẹjọ́ kan dá fún wípé kan fi sí ẹ̀wọ̀n nítorí ẹ̀sùn agbésùmọ̀mí ó lóun ò ní dákẹ́ òun ò ní sùn òun ò ní wo àná lámúròyìn wá fún yín tó sọ wípé wọ́n sọ wípé òun ló pa láṣẹ pé kán cancel gbogbo ohun tí ń jẹ́ sit at home olóhùn náà ti mọ òótọ́ bóyá ní ìsìn tó ti ń prepare appeal ẹ̀ ní ìsìn bóyá yóò sẹnu re bóyá wọ́n fetí sùnùkùn bá gbọ́. bá a bá ti wá kó ń bẹ́ tán áyà lọ́dọ̀ ọ̀gbẹ́ni pétérù níbi tó ti sí iná ọ̀rọ̀ fún òsì ọmọlẹ̀ ó ní òsì ọmọlẹ̀ kò tán bí ò tán ṣùgbọ́n kó tó sínú ọ̀rọ̀ láti gbọ́ pé òsì ọmọlẹ̀ ti jẹ́wọ́ o lórí arábìnrin tí ń fi ọwọ́ pa lẹ́sẹ̀ sẹ́wọ̀n pé wọ́n jáde wọ́n ní AI ni wọ́n ti fi ẹnu ara wọn jẹ́wọ́ báyìí pé kì í ṣe AI kí ni ìjẹ́wọ́ òsì ọmọlẹ̀ kí wàá ní ọmọ pétérù tí máa pariwo pé orí burúkú lẹ̀ ń ṣe orí burúkú lẹ̀ ń ṣe ẹ ti mọ̀ àmúbọ̀ lónìí nítorí ìjẹ́wọ́ rẹ̀ nìyóò fi dáná ọ̀rọ̀ fún ó gbé kaná ó jiná dáadáa ó sì fi nù ún ó jẹ́ yó bámúbámú ó tún mọ́ mi lé. bá a bá kó ń bẹ̀ tán á wà á yà lọ́dọ̀ arákùnrin kan òṣèré tíátà lè mímọ̀ sí tẹ́lẹ̀ àfi bá a ṣe rí tó lóun ti lọ rí di politics òun náà ti ń bá wọn ṣe politics wọléwọ̀de Peter Obi ńgbà kan wọ́n ní òun náà sọ̀rọ̀ sí Akpabio wípé Akpabio is an enemy of democracy and should be removed. mo ní égbìnrin ọ̀tẹ̀ bá a ṣe pàkan nìkan rú wọ́n sáà ní wọ́n tún ti ń pariwo wípé kán impeach Akpabio báyìí o mo ní ti ẹ̀lúùlú lọ́rọ̀ mo ní ẹ̀lúùlú lọ́rọ̀ Akpabio òun ló fi ẹnu ara rẹ̀ pé òjò ó sì rọ̀ lé lórí. ẹ já pò lórí ọ̀rọ̀ wọn bá a bá dénú àkójọpọ̀ àáfẹ̀ lójú àníríjù báyìí lọ nínú gbogbo àwọn àkòrí ìròyìn mo lérò pa àti kógojá lórí àti kógojá bá a bá dénú àkójọpọ̀ ìròyìn àáfẹ̀ gbogbo ẹ̀ lójú yóò yá kétékété kété ẹjẹ́ wa lọ sínú abala tí ọmọ tẹ̀lé abala tá a ti mọ́ sáná wọlé tá a ti mọ́ sí àfipàkà ẹsẹ̀ cheese ẹsẹ̀ mushin ẹsẹ̀ olóòṣàsínú ẹsẹ̀ wẹ̀ẹ́dẹ̀ àti wẹ́dẹ́wẹ́dẹ́ ẹsẹ̀ ìbọ̀bọ̀ kí bọ̀bọ̀ bá mi Orlando ọ̀wọ̀ kọ́lọ̀ mọ́ bá ń fọ̀rùn kí n àfi pàkà yọ̀ọ̀yà kò ní yẹ̀lẹ́ alákọ̀ọ́kọ́ náà abala ti Sanawole ètò nìyẹn já lọ tààràtààrà sí ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn NIS ìyẹn Nigeria Immigration Service níbi tá a ti gbọ́ tó ń fẹ̀sùn kàn wọ́n àwọn ọmọ Ìgbò ló sì ń fẹ̀sùn kàn wọ́n wọ́n ní NIS denies barring any region from passport issuance wọ́n ní gbogbo ibi tó ti ń ṣe passport tó ti ń produce passport nílẹ̀ Ìgbò wọ́n ní wọ́n ti cancel ẹ̀ wọ́n ti wọ́gilé wọ́n ti gbé kúrò ńbẹ̀ wípé marginalization of the highest order rèé ẹ̀ mọ̀ sí gbàgbé wípé Minister Olúbùnmi Òjó wọ́n sì ń bá fa ọ̀rọ̀ NYSC certificate wọ́n ń bá fà lọ́wọ́ àkàngbáriwo ni o wọ́n ní the Nigeria Immigration Service NIS has denied reports that any region of the country has been barred from passport issuance, insisting that no part of Nigeria has been excluded from access to the service. The clarification was contained in a press statement issued on Saturday, February 7, 2026 by the NIS Public Relations Officer AS Akinlabi. According to the service, claims stem from a misunderstanding of its ongoing reforms. Wọ́n láwọn reform lọ́wọ́ ni aimed at modernizing passport production and administration nationwide. The denial follows growing public concern and media reports suggesting that passport production activities in part of the country, particularly the southeast, were being altered, raising fears of restricted access for applicants. The NIS said these narratives were false. The attention of the Nigeria Immigration Service has been drawn to a baseless online report claiming that a specific region of the country has been disqualified from passport issuance. NIS categorically state that this report is entirely false and a gross misrepresentation of the ongoing government reforms to modernize passport administration. The reality is that NIS has introduced a phased onboarding system to migrate passport offices. Wọ́n ní àwọn tí wà digitalized ẹ bá rí táwọn ọ́fíìsì kan ò sí mọ́ wọ́n ní kì í ṣe wípé àwọn marginalized àwọn wà digitalized ni o wípé ẹ lọ sórí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára wọ́n ní wọ́n ìgbà tẹ́ bá ti dọ́mọ Nàìjíríà kẹ́ ẹ mọ́ tún fi eléyìí sí ẹlẹ́yàmẹ̀yà o wọ́n ní the NIS spokesman added that passport offices in several northeast and north central states have already been successfully onboarded alongside 35 international stations across Africa, Asia. Wọ́n láwọn ti onboard ẹ̀ sórí digital station àwọn centralized. Wọ́n ní kì í sí ìsọ̀dọ̀ yín nìkan. Ó dá o àwọn ọmọ Ìgbò ló pariwo síta wá àyà tí ẹ̀ ń sọ fún mi wípé ṣé bọ́ọ̀rọ̀ náà ń pariwo Biafra wípé kò yẹ kán mọ béèrè passport Nàìjíríà mo ní o mọ́ gbẹ̀nù sí i mọ́jà àfẹ́ lójoojúmọ́ lọ òye wọn ni kò yé wọn débẹ̀ ni ẹ jẹ́ apáyàn bá fẹ́ kó òǹbí kan ẹ sì ń bára yín ṣe ná bọ́ọ̀ bá wá ní rárá o fẹ́ bá bẹ̀jẹ̀ tẹ́ ẹ ní ẹ̀ bá wọn ṣe kí lẹ wá ní ìdí passport wọn fún gbà náà àwa kan náà táwa nù Yorùbá nìsan òye òye àwọn kan débẹ̀ pé ibi téèyàn bá ti fẹ́ kúrò èèyàn ibà bẹ̀ jẹ́ bọ́n tó ń kílèmù bẹ̀ bá fọwọ́ ara wọn bàjẹ́ ọ̀tọ̀ nìyẹn àbí bóò ló ṣe máa ní ìsọmọ ìlú kan ó máa bẹ̀ sí ní àwọn ọmọ tẹnumọ́ tipẹ́tipẹ́ a fẹ́ kúrò ń bẹ̀ ni a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ bàbá wa emeritus Professor Banji Akintoye bẹ́ẹ̀ bá kọ́mọ rẹ̀ dáadáa ẹ wo ọ̀nà tán gbégbà kéèyàn àwọn tí ń dá ogun síbẹ̀ nísìn síta tó ẹ̀yìn sára wọn ẹ̀yìn kí lẹ wá ní ìdí passport office ń bẹ̀ fún ó lẹ ẹjá tẹ̀síwájú jàre ọ̀rọ̀ tó gùn ni àwọn kan ò ní gbà báwọn ẹjá wá dé Kwara ká fún yín lọ́dẹ̀ẹ́tì ibi tá a ti gbọ́ wọn ní lára àwọn forest guard tí wọ́n deploy lọ síbẹ̀ wọ́n ní wọ́n lè ambush fún wọn ní wọ́n fara gbọ́ta arákùnrin kan kú ó ṣe mí láàánú pọmọ Yorùbá ló wá kú yìí o wọ́n ní a suspected bandit wọ́n ti pa a forest guard identifier Samuel nígbà tí wọ́n yabo ìlú kan tó ń pè ní Kọ̀rọ̀ community ní Èkìtì local government ní Kwara ni o ẹ̀kan gbọ́ Èkìtì local government inú Kwara ló wà wọ́n jọ pa àlà síra wọn ní ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n ní ó bọ̀dì sínú Kwara wọ́n náà tún gba machine ọwọ́ rẹ̀. The incident reportedly occurred after forest guard received intelligence about a possible invasion by armed men believed to be bandits. Acting on information, the operative moved into the area to preempt the attack but were ambushed by the assailants. Ṣé ẹ̀rí tẹ́ bá ti gbọ́ tán pè yín fún ìpè pàjáwìrì ẹ mọ̀mọ̀ sáré kó sẹ́nu kú àníkẹ́ ẹ mọ̀ jáfáfá ṣùgbọ́n ẹ mọ̀mọ̀ sáré kó sẹ́nu kú ibi tán expect kẹ́ gbà wọlé ẹ̀yin náà gbọ̀nà míì yọ ọgbọ́n ní kíní ẹ jẹ́ káramọ́ báyìí sọ̀rọ̀ kẹ́ẹ̀kan mọ́ lọ wọ́n rọ́ sẹ́nu kú wọ́n ní during the confrontation Samuel wọ́n pa ni wọ́n yìnbọn fún wọ́n ní àwọn tó sojú rẹ̀ àwọn tó wà lágbègbè bẹ̀ tán rí àwọn ará bíi àwọn agbésùnmọ̀mí wọ́n ní nǹkan kó dání wọ́n ló lágbára ju ti àwọn forest guard lọ wọ́n ní bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni wọ́n fi iná sí ọ̀kadà tán gbà lọ́wọ́ wọn ilé ìlágbára o Kọ̀rọ̀ community which borders Ẹ̀gbẹ́ in Yagba West local government area of Kogi State. èèyàn kan náà panu dá o wọ́n ti máa bọ́n kẹ́dùn náà bá wọn Ọlọ́run ṣàánú wa ẹnìkan lòun ẹjẹ́ tẹ̀síwájú ẹjẹ́ adé orí ọ̀rọ̀ ìkànnà àwọn àgbà òṣèré gbajúgbajà obìnrin yìí Fathia Williams Balógun tẹ́lẹ̀ ń jọ bí ẹni kó ti yọ Balógun kúrò lẹ́yìn ọkọ rẹ̀ ní ìsìn àbí n ò rí lórí handle rẹ̀ ni o bóyá ó sì ń jẹ́ Balógun mi ò mọ̀ àǹtí Fathia wọ́n ní wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe 55th birthday o ní February 5 o wọ́n ní ọjọ́ birthday rẹ̀ on the February 5 ni ṣùgbọ́n ọjọ́ Sunday àná ni wọ́n fi pàtí sí ṣùgbọ́n ó ní unknown to her ó ní mọ̀mọ́ òun fayé sílẹ̀ o eve of my party and the news was cruelly kept away from me wọ́n fẹ́ bọ́jọ́ kìíní rẹ̀ tó wá jọjọ́ birthday rẹ̀ ọ̀gá o. Because she was my cheerleader, prayer warrior, best friend. While I have taken solace in Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala, this Williams family has decided to keep things very private for now. Your love and prayers will mean a lot to me and my siblings. Abadaro, Umasio, Kẹ́yìn Mọ̀mọ́dá o. Ó rẹ́jà tẹ̀síwájú ẹjẹ́ wá dé ọ̀dọ̀ Pope o níbi tá a ti ń gbọ́ wọn ní Pope náà fohùn ránṣẹ́ lórí àwọn tán kú ní Kwara o mọ̀lá àti ìgbọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́nu kálífèétì wọn o odidi Róòmù lọ́hùn wọ́n fò gádà wọ́n fò bọ́dà ní Róòmù ní Pope ti fohùn ránṣẹ́ o Sókótó wọ́n fohùn ránṣẹ́ wọ́n jọ wà nínú nọ́ọ̀tì ní àwọn àti Kwara o wọ́n ní Pope Leo Born Robert Prevost, when he has expressed sorrow over the recent wave of violent attacks across parts of Nigeria, describing the incident as deeply troubling and calling on authorities to intensify efforts to protect citizens. The pontiff made the remark in a post on X, formerly Twitter, on Sunday, offering prayers for victims of terrorism and communal violence following deadly assaults reported in Kwara, Katsina, and Benue State. It is with sorrow and concern that I learned of the recent attacks against various communities in Nigeria, leading to heavy loss of life. I express my prayerful closeness to all the victims of violence and terrorism. I likewise hope that the competent authorities will continue to work with determination to ensure safety and protection of life of every citizen. His comment come amid renewed security concerns following attacks that left dozens dead. Pope láti Rome òun ló ti ń bá yín dárò yẹn ló ń bá Nàìjíríà dárò. Ǹjẹ́ ẹ ti gbọ́ nǹkan kan lẹ́nu kálífèétì wọn? Ọ̀dà kí ni ó sọ sí wa glaringly àwa là ń discard là ń dismiss signals. Ó dá lára abala ti Sanawole tó ní ẹja sáré dé Ògùn níbi tá a ti ń gbọ́ wọn ní ọmọ Ọbásanjọ́ ti declare pé gómìnà ló ń fẹ́ ṣe o. Ó ti declare intention rẹ̀ wípé òun ò padà sílé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin mọ́ ẹ̀yìn lẹ́pẹ́ òun o kó òun wá jọba. Erin kárẹ̀lé ò wá jọba, erin yẹ́yẹ́ ò erin yẹ́yẹ́. Ibi tí wọ́n kọ́ dénú ògìn tó kó ń bẹ̀. Wọ́n ní ọmọlé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin nígbà kan rí ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Ìyábọ̀ Ọbásanjọ́ ti wọ́gi lé èròǹgbà àwọn kan tí wọ́n ní ó fẹ́ padà sílé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin àgbà Nàìjíríà. Wọ́n ní ó fìdí rẹ̀ múlẹ̀ wípé òun ò ṣe sínétọ̀ mọ́ o, gómìnà ló ń bọ̀ wá sí o. Wọ́n ní Ìyábọ̀ Ọbásanjọ́ ọmọ ààrẹ orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà nígbà kan rí Olúṣẹ́gun Ọbásanjọ́ ló sọ èyí di mímọ̀ lásìkò tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ lórí rédíò. Níbẹ̀ ló ti fìdí rẹ̀ múlẹ̀ pé òun ti padà sí ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú All Progressives Congress. Síbẹ̀ ló wà tẹ́lẹ̀ ni. Ó ní fún ìlọsíwájú òun ò ṣe kọmíṣánná gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo ti sọ, n kò padà sí ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú kan náà nítorí mo gbàgbọ́ ẹgbẹ́ náà ti dàgbà tí kò sì ní ìwúlò mọ́. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni n kò padà sí ilé ìgbìmọ̀ asòfin àgbà náà o. Bí àwọn ará Amẹ́ríkà ẹ máa ń sọ kò ní ìwúlò, èyí ni mo sọ fún àwọn èèyàn mi nígbà tí gbogbo èyí bẹ̀rẹ̀. Ohun kan tí mo padà wà fún ní ipò gómìnà. A ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìrìn àjò náà, a ó sì bá dé òpin nítorí a kò fi ọwọ́ kékeré mú ọ̀rọ̀ yìí o. Kọmíṣánná fún ètò ìlera nígbà kan rí ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn ní ìpadàbọ̀ òun sínú òṣèlú ló dá lórí pé láti ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn olólùfẹ́ rẹ̀ tí wọ́n ké gbàjarì sí wípé wá jọba. Àìpẹ́ yìí ni Ọbásanjọ́ darapọ̀ mọ́ ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú APC tó sì kéde rẹ̀ síta fáráyé ní pápá náà. Ṣé yóò sì ní ẹ̀tọ́ sí láti dupò gómìnà? Òun náà ra tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì. Ó dáa o. Ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú People Democratic Party nípínlẹ̀ Ògùn tó jẹ́ ẹgbẹ́ tí Ọbásanjọ́ wà tẹ́lẹ̀ tí wọ́n ti kọ lẹ́tà sí pé àwọn fi Ọlọ́run sìn nínú ìrìn àjò rẹ̀ òṣùmọ̀ kó mọ̀ tẹnu àbùkù kó mọ̀ fẹnu ba ẹgbẹ́ jẹ́jẹ́ kó ń bẹ ẹja tún sáré yà lóńdó níbi tá a ti gbọ́ wípé wọ́n ní ọwọ́ ọlọ́pàá tẹ ìyá onílé tí wọ́n ló fún ọmọ ayálégbé rẹ̀ ní májèlé lóńdó. Iléeṣẹ́ ọlọ́pàá ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo ti mú ìyá onílé kan Nafisat Lateef ẹni tí wọ́n fẹ̀sùn kàn pé ó fún ọmọ tẹ́nàntì rẹ̀ Abdulrasheed tí kò ju ọmọ ọdún 3 lọ ní májèlé mu. Alukoro iléeṣẹ́ ọlọ́pàá ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo Àbáyọ̀mí Jímọ̀ ṣàlàyé pé ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ yìí wáyé lọ́jọ́ 4 oṣù kejì ọdún 2026 lágbègbè Omifọn níjọba ìbílẹ̀ Òdìgbò ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo. Èdè àìyedè kan ni a gbọ́ pé ó ti wáyé ṣáájú láàrin ìyá ọmọ náà tí ó ń jẹ́ Rọ̀fíàt àti ìyá onílé rẹ̀ lárìnlọ́ọ̀dún rẹ̀ ẹni 40 ọdún náà o. Wọ́n ní nínú àlàyé alukoro ó ní lẹ́yìn májèlé ọ̀hún ni Abdulrasheed bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí bí èyí tí wọ́n fi sáré gbé dìgbàdìgbà lọ sílé ìwòsàn níbi tí wọ́n ti du ẹ̀mí rẹ̀. Òwúrọ̀ ọjọ́ kejì ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ náà ìyá ọmọ fi tó iléeṣẹ́ ọlọ́pàá létí bí alukoro Jímọ̀ ṣe ṣàlàyé ní tẹ̀sán ọlọ́pàá tó wà ní Òdìgbò. Wọ́n ní ìfisùn náà ló ní ó mú ọlọ́pàá bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìwádìí tí ìwádìí sì fi hàn pé ọjọ́ 4 oṣù kejì ọdún yìí ni Nafisat fún Abdulrasheed ní nǹkan mu o. Ó fi kún pé àyẹ̀wò fi hàn pé májèlé ló fún ọmọ náà mu o. Ìjà tó ti wáyé ṣáájú láàrin ìyá onílé àti ìyá Abdulrasheed tó jẹ́ tẹ́nàntì ló ní ó fà á tí ìyá onílé fi fún ọmọ kékeré náà ní májèlé jẹ́ o. Ara ọmọ ló ti fẹ́ gbẹ̀san, ó fẹ́ rán ọmọ lọ́mọ lọ sọ́run àrèmabọ̀. Kíá ni ọlọ́pàá lọ gbé Nafisat lẹ́yìn èyí ó sì ti jẹ́wọ́ pé lóòótọ́ ló ń fún Abdulrasheed májèlé mu bí alukoro ọlọ́pàá Ondo ṣe fìdí ẹ̀ múlẹ̀. Ìyá onílé náà yóò fojú balẹ̀ ẹjọ́ lẹ́yìn ìwádìí kíkún. Kórè mọ́ ṣe láńlọ́ọ̀dù ní ẹ̀wọ̀n, kórè mọ́ gbowó lọ́wọ́ àwọn tó bá ń bẹ̀ wọ́n fojú ẹ̀ hàn mọ̀ bọ́ àwọn ìka ènìyàn àwọn èèyàn mọ̀ ya ìka gan o. Ó dáa níbẹ̀ ẹja sáré di Enugu níbi tí ariwo ti pọ̀ lórí Dr. Oti gómìnà wọn wípé àláwọn máa yẹ̀ lẹ́sẹ̀ kò ní í wọlé ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì. Wọ́n ní òṣìṣẹ́ àwọn aráàlú ló ṣiṣẹ́. Wọ́n ní ìfà tó wà lára àwọn one of the best governors tàdédé lají láàárọ̀ yìí lábárí níbi tó ti ń kọrin tó ti ń jó mo ní ta ló ń yìn. Wọ́n ní wọ́n darapọ̀ mọ́ àwọn yòókù wọ́n ń dọ́gbọ́n kọrin on your mandate. ṣé bí ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú APGA ni ó ti wà kí tún lọ́kàn pẹ́ wọ́n ní gbogbo wọn ń sarajọpọ̀ wọn ní ẹ bẹ̀rù olódòdè wọ́n ní alága BOT fún ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú PDP board of trustee wọn mo ní wọ́n ní òun ló sọ wípé we have nothing to lose pé àwọn ó dìbò fún Tinubu.
I will power. Give us some state, I will power. Give us some house of works, I will power. Let Tinubu continue as president today. Dr. Edel Soti is doing well in the infrastructure. Over our political the governor of Igbo, the governor of Anambra, the governor of Enugu, the governor of Abia, the governor of Igbo. I'm not going to go for the party. So who goes Abia? I'm going to go to Labour. What those are money share with me? They gather and say, look, follow us. This can let allow you. Who are done? Who is completing his 4 years? So who is remaining 4 years? My brothers and sisters, we have nothing to lose. Hear me and hear me. Further sentiment for the emotion.
Having considered the strategic decision of governors and leaders of the Southeast concerning the presidency of Nigeria in 2027, the leaders and members of Follow Better organization do hereby resolve that we shall mobilize and support President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for the presidency of Nigeria in 2027. 2. Having also considered the massive infrastructural development and economic empowerment of the administration of Dr. Alex Oti of Abia State, the leadership and members of Follow Better organization do hereby acknowledge these successes.
ṣùgbọ́n okú ni wọ́n rọ ẹjẹ́ àdọ́dọ̀ ìkànnà àwọn pòfẹ́sọ̀ yìí tán náà ti ganu sókè dókítà ti ẹ̀níyàn anyway wọ́n súnmọ́ra wọn náà lọ́dọ̀ tí wọ́n ní ààrẹ olódò deule skills wọ́n ní the ball is in his court òun gangan ní ó láṣẹ lórí owó ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ owó Nàìjíríà mo ní ẹjẹ́ àjọgbọ́ ká wo angle náà tún gbà wò ó.
Policy and at your expense is trillions of federal budget annually. The minimum is 10 trillion naira every single year annual budget. You control that, not the governors. So calling meetings with 36 state governors to help you and having your chief propagandist, Bayo Nanuga, your propagandist in chief, give false hopes to Nigerians by announcing a useless communique with empty plans. Those promises he made is not a plan. Those promises, those governors cannot be relied upon. As we speak, they are messing up their state economies and worsening the hunger emanating from you, Mr. President, in Abuja. They're making it worse at the state level. A leopard cannot change its spots overnight. It doesn't happen that way. You cannot, Mr. President, even blame the ordinary Nigerians because they are the only ones left to blame. You blame everybody else for giving you the once in a lifetime chance to serve as president of Nigeria. You can't blame them. They've given us very, very specific examples of suffering. I have personally been asked to use my broadcast to convey to you Aqua Speaks. That's the name of my podcast. By Nigerians. Some from Abuja, some from different states in the country. This is a direct message I'm going to give to you, Mr. President. It's not too much big English. Very direct message. 1, price of cement within 3 weeks has gone up in Abuja. From the average price, depending on the type of cement, from 5,000 naira to 15,000 within a month, within 1 month. 2, the price of fuel is expected to top 1,000 naira per liter. I'm going to give you a quote about this later on. 3, a crate of eggs now costs 3,500 naira. Do I need to go on? How many Nigerians do you think can afford even some of the things that I mentioned? Many Nigerians, Mr. President, including your own supporters, speak about your stewardship, about your service today as president in very negative terms. They don't like you, and they don't like your federal government. Your own supporters, even your own supporters, are experiencing buyer's remorse. They are regretting that what did we buy? When they open the package at home, they can't believe it. Many of them regret in voting in your government in the first place. They believe you have bowed. You have bowed down to the dictates of IMF, International Monetary Fund, and World Bank, who have ruined the economies of so many countries because you want to borrow money from them. You want to borrow billions of dollars using Nigerian money as collateral from them. But that money will be frittered away if it's given to you by Nigerian federal legislators, by the corrupt state governors. Those people cannot wait. And your own executive branch, your ministers, they can not wait to get their dirty hands on these borrowed dollars. They didn't even need to borrow this money. Some of your ministers, you've suspended some of them for corruption already. Nigerians are putting the blame for their predicament squarely on your shoulders. Squarely on your shoulders, Mr. President. Some of your opponents have not even forgotten the problems they had with you last year. They are still blaming INEC. They are still blaming Yakubu Mahmoud till today for the alleged non-transparency of presidential election result release process. That result brought you to office last May. But there's hunger in the land, so they've remembered it either way. You must be held to account for this toxic atmosphere created out of whole cloth by you. This atmosphere persists in Nigeria today. This situation of hunger in the land did not need to happen in a country that produces 2.5 million barrels of oil every single day. 2.5 million. The price of oil will vary between 70 to 100 and something dollars every single day. Let me not waste so much of your time. Let me just give you a quote. And let me give you the thinking of ordinary Nigerians about the present economic situation in the country. All these people coming to you, these big governors flying in with private jets, they're not going to tell you this. But I'll tell you this for free, Mr. President, for free. Quote, yes, few persons or a cabal was milking the country through the subsidy scam. But the subsidization of fuel helped the populace a lot. In those days, people were still able to buy fuel at less than 200 naira a liter. But now, fuel is 680 naira per liter. And this week, Business Day, newspaper reported that landing cost per liter has risen to 1,000 naira. So very soon, we will start buying fuel at over 1,000 naira. Let me ask you this question, Mr. President. How many Nigerians do you think can afford this? Cost of fuel, Mr. President, I'll tell you for free. I'm not an expert economist, but cost of fuel affects virtually everything in Nigeria, especially food, which is what is bringing the hunger, which is the topic of our podcast today, hunger. The above sentiments I just read out to you, I made sure I look for something neutral, reflects the thinking of many, many Nigerians. Outside the gritty senators and members of the Federal House who bow to you, visit you in Aso Rock regularly, in long agbadas, to pay homage. They will not tell you that. I just tell you for free.
Ó dà ní rí jù báyìí lọ nínú abala tí Sanawole ní pápápá ẹjẹ́ àtẹ̀síwájú ẹjẹ́ wá wọnú abala ẹjẹ́ àtẹ̀síwájú sínú abala ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ wa abala comment section àròjọ mùsùlùkùn àyà pápápá ni ó sí ó gbé wa rìn síwájú. Mo máa tún kí n káàbọ̀ sínú abala ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ wa abala comment section. Ìyàwó Victoria Abadijo wọ́n ní wonders shall never end. It's all about business. Naija people are suffering. They are all not telling the truth. I just returned from Lagos last month. I gave out a lot of money to the needy. Odua nation are going back. We move. Wọ́n tẹ love say àti nǹkan panu bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni mo rí wine. Fẹ́ láti fi kọrin suffering and smiling. Ara ń tó mú kí ìpànlépọ̀ nìyẹn wọ́n ń gẹ́yà ara èèyàn wọ́n ń ṣoríṣiríṣi bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni ẹja dọ́dọ̀ mọ́ mi evangelist Dorcas jáde sọ́la wọ́n ní ọ̀gbẹ́ni Bobby oníròyìn àgbáyé God bless you and your family in Jesus name amen. Wọ́n tẹ lọ́ọ̀ sí aláti Easton Texas God bless you too. Báà mi fọlọ́run sọ̀tà nímọ̀lá wọ́n ní ọ̀gbẹ́ni Bobby ẹ̀kú ìsinmi òní àfi kí Ọlọ́run kó gbà wá lọ́wọ́ ìjọba afẹ̀míṣòfò gbogbo àwọn aláṣẹ orílẹ̀-èdè yìí wọn kò rí tara ìlú rò Yorùbá nation going back. Wọ́n tẹ lọ́ọ̀ sí àti nǹkan panu òótọ́ lẹ kúkú sọ o. Tara wọn nìkan náà mọ̀ màámi tó iná rí wọ́n ní mama up there àwọn Tinubu fans màmá tó sọ pé wọ́n fẹ́ jèrè APC. Mọ́mí Florence Alade wọ́n ní akú ìsinmi òní gbogbo ìdílé aláyọ̀ o ọ̀gbẹ́ni Bobby lobby wọ́n ní ààbò Ọlọ́run yóò máa dájú lórí gbogbo wa mi ibà parambulate ẹ̀fí mínísítà tó fọwọ́ àti owó ọlá fọlá gbani lójú sílẹ̀ o wọ́n ní pàṣẹ ẹ̀san ń bọ̀ lórí rẹ̀ Odua nation going back wọ́n tẹ lọ́ọ̀sẹ̀ àti nǹkan panu. pàṣẹ ìsàn tó bá sì dé báyìí àbá káànú. Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni àtúntọ́ network ẹ̀mọ́ kújọ́ mẹ́ta bá mi ní Ghana wọ́n ní ibà confam ẹ̀ just saying hello to you. I never miss any of your updates. I know tá a bá ti rọwọ́ inú comment mọ̀ pé àjọ ń wò ni. Most times I download the video and watch them first thing in the morning. Long live the Yoruba nation from Ghana. Mo mọ̀ pé Ghana náà ni àwọn representative wa Ghana nù. Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni Mohammed Okas Jalo wọn ní ẹ̀ka alẹ́ gbogbo ẹbí aláyọ̀ brọ́dà mi ọ̀gbẹ́ni Bobby àtàyà wa tó dá ski wọ́n tẹ lọ́ọ̀fù sí wa. A kó ìsinmi òní o akínyìn fún ìròyìn àṣálẹ́ yìí well done ṣáà. Àwọn mi náà ṣe ìbò wọn fi sọ Yorùbá yọ yẹ ibẹ̀ sí kọ́hún Yorùbá ní originality tiwa. At Matthew Ogunṣọlá wọ́n ní that type of destiny will be his portion and all his family. Àmì kún fàyà kún gómìnà tó sọ wípé destiny àwọn tó kú nìyẹn. Mọ́ mi tó iná rì wọ́n ní ọ̀gbẹ́ni Bobby kí lẹ̀ ń pè mí sí. You love me, I love you too. Mọ́ mi Stella Ògúnbàjò wọ́n ní gbogbo ilé aláyọ̀ happy Sunday o. A ní fi ilé iṣẹ́ àṣegbẹ̀yìn ní ilé wa mí o láṣẹ Ìdùmarè. Mọ́ mi Stella Òdèlé Stella tó tẹ̀léra wọn ni wọ́n ní ọ̀gbẹ́ni Bobby ẹjọ́ nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ni wípé people are sending their money to Nigeria torí exchange rates. They are all millionaires in Nigeria. If not, all money will go shopping abroad. Wọ́n tẹ̀lé ọ̀sì à. Òótọ́ lẹ kúkú sọ wá abroad ní gbé. Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni mọ́ mi Grace Olùṣọ́tọ́ wọn ní ọkàn mi ọba ọ̀run ọkàn mi yìn ọba ọ̀run ọ̀rẹ́ wá sí ọ̀dọ̀ rẹ̀ wọ́tawọ́sán ta dáríjìn tàlàbà yìn bí rẹ̀ ẹ̀yìn olúwa mọ́ mi ń kọrin ni o mo yá jọ́ ìwọ̀n nígbò tí jórin yìnyín wọ́n tẹ lọ́ọ̀fù sí a. Mi ò yẹmí sàlá wọ́n ní mo kí yín ọ̀gbẹ́ni Bobby wọ́n mímí náà kí yín o mo kí yín tọ́látọ́lá mo kí yín tìfẹ́tìfẹ́ mo họ́nà yín. Wọ́n ní sẹ́nẹ́tọ̀ olè ṣé òun ló ní owó tó fi ṣe àga ní owó constituency ní o wọ́n tẹ lọ́ọ̀fù rẹpẹtẹ sí a. Àga burúkú àga onígi wọ́n yà kọ sí lọ́rùn àkórè mọ́ fi jókòó nulẹ̀ rẹ̀. Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni Báàmí Táyọ̀ Àjàyí wọ́n ní ọ̀gbẹ́ni Bobby the military and the other security agencies need to answer questions. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni lórí tó ṣẹlẹ̀ Kwara ní wọ̀rọ̀ they get all the intel from the citizens but what did they do? They will come after pine of the people. Ṣebí n tó ṣẹlẹ̀ Nkẹ́bí lọ́jọ́ sí nìyẹn táwọn àmì kú òun bẹ́ẹ̀ ní 15 minutes to time tó máa strike wọn ò rí ìyẹn kankan mú. Mọ́mí Grace Olùṣọ́tọ́ mo padà dọ́dọ̀ yín wọ́n ní olúwa ṣe onítorí àánú rẹ̀ dúró títí láì fún ààbò tí ó dájú lórí àwọn ọmọ rẹ̀ tí kò fi wọ́n fọ́tayọ̀ àdúpẹ́ àtún ọpẹ́ dá Yorùbá nation ogun ìwà mọ́ mi ń jó. Yọ yẹ ìmọ̀ mi bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni àtàlà ọtíjà ní bá mi ní ọ̀gbẹ́ni Bobby ẹ̀kọ́ ètò ọlọ́run ní tó Yorùbá nation ogun ìwà wọ́n fi nǹkan panu lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ ránṣẹ́ sí amúti ẹ̀rí àgbọn. At Evangelist Dorcas Jádesọ́lá mo tún padà mo gbàgbé nǹkan sọ́dọ̀ yín ni wọ́n ní gbogbo ìdílé aláyọ̀ àní rìnrìn àjò tí ebi ń pa lọ́jọ́ tẹ́bí bá ń pa ọ̀nà àbọ̀ ọlọ́run á dájú lórí gbogbo wa tọmọtọmọ á bá àwọn náà dúpẹ́ o ẹ̀mí wọn tí ọlọ́run dá sí olúwa ṣeun o ṣeun òkè ṣeun náà ni mo rò pé olúwa ṣàánú ni láti Eastern Texas wọ́n tẹ lọ́ọ̀ sí a. Mi Dorcas Jalo wọ́n ní ìyà kì í ṣomi ọbẹ̀ bàbá má jẹ́ jìyà láyé ìyà kì í ṣomi ọbẹ̀ bàbá má jẹ́ jìyà ìyà kì í ṣẹ̀fọ́ wọ̀rọ̀wọ́ ò bàbá má jẹ́ jìyà wọ̀rọ̀ ò ìyà kì í ṣomi ọbẹ̀ bàbá má jẹ́ jìyà o. Mọ́ mi Mary Odunu yìí tèmi nìkan wọ́n ní òbí tèmi nìkan àtàyà mi tó ṣọ́ mo kì í ẹ̀yin ẹbí mi nínú agboolé aláyọ̀ bó ti wù kí ìlú le tó kò ní lè mọ́ wa ṣẹ́ o. Ìyá olóṣèlú tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí wọ́n ní òṣè dá sí ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ nítorí wọ́n ti ní ẹni tí ìyà ń jẹ kì í kú bọ̀rọ̀ wọ́n fẹ́ jẹ owó ìlú Oòduà Nation Ogomba wọ́n tẹ lọ́ọ̀ sí àṣẹ́bí wọn wá nígbà òjẹ́ pé tàbí ní òṣèlú mentality òṣèlú Nàìjíríà nìyẹn everybody fẹ́ jẹ tiẹ̀ ni. Investment sì ní lọ́dọ̀ wọn bó bá invest 1 million sórí olóṣèlú kó máa retí 100 million. Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni at Christiana Mustapha amọ́ mi ní ọ̀gbẹ́ni Bobby akú ìsinmi ológo èní o ẹ̀mí gbogbo wa yóò ṣe ọ̀pọ̀ rẹ̀ láyé tọmọ táyà o tọkọ tẹbí tará mi ebi ẹ̀mí kò ní pa wọ́n láṣẹ Olódùmarè Ọlọ́run ò ní fi wá sílẹ̀ àmì o wọn tẹ lọ́ọ̀fù sí a o. Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni mọ́mí Abọ́láńlé Ògúndọ̀lá wọ́n ní happy Sunday ọ̀gbẹ́ni Bobby I and the whole family I pray we will witness many more in Jesus Christ's mighty name amen. Love from Mama Dola I know you always love us we love you too. Mo rí cake mo rí wine mo rí cookies mọ́mí ìyá àfífàlàyé wọn ní ó bí àtàyà ìyá kì í somi ọbẹ̀ bàbá mọ̀jà jìyà láyé ìyá kì í somi ọbẹ̀ bàbá mọ̀jà jìyà nàìjíríà ìṣe tí orí rẹ̀ fi tẹ̀bà Oòduà nation ṣe ìrètí nínú olúwa you will emerge by fire by force in Jesus mighty name amen yo fire 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 Oòduà nation no going back from Canada. Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni at Helen Ọládìpọ̀ wọ́n ní ọ̀gbẹ́ni Bobby ẹ kú ètò ọlọ́run ní tó kí ọlọ́run máa bá wa sí àmì o ọ̀gbẹ́ni tó fẹ́ bá ọmọ ọ̀rẹ́ sùn yìí ìkà eléri ibú èèyàn ni ọlọ́run máa fi ìyà jẹ òbí mi nínú akú oríire ti Ìgbòho sà owó bàbá dámì orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá ní kíákíá wọn tẹ̀ nǹkan panu sí a. Mọ́mí Elizabeth Oyeniya mọ́mí lùjọ̀sà wọ́n ní ọ̀gbẹ́ni Bobby rẹ̀ gbogbo wa ni a máa rí àánú gbà nínú ọ̀sẹ̀ yìí ní agbára Jésù àmín from Texas Oòduà nation no going back bẹ́ẹ̀ bá sì ti rí àánú gbà lọ́wọ́ ọlọ́run ó kàn mọ́ ṣàánú èèyàn lọ ní freely láì gbowó kò gbowó kò gbòóbì kò gba nǹkan kan mi fóòrè 50 million ọ̀fẹ́ ló bá mi ṣe. ààrẹ mọ̀ pé oríṣiríṣi oore tọ́lọ́ ń ṣe fún wa ń bí ẹlòmíín ná 50 million lé ìwòsàn lé babaláwo lé oníṣègùn ìjà mọ̀ dúpẹ́. bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni mọ́mí Grace Olùṣòótọ́ wọ́n ní di ìgbà wo ni wọ́n máa fi wọ́n di ìbò àánú gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà ṣe mí ojú wa kò tí ì là tó wọ́n yí nkí Tinubu pé ó ṣe kínní ó ṣe fún ẹ̀yin òpònú àánú gbogbo yín ṣe mí tèmi ṣe ọlọ́run ọba ògo bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni bá mi fọlọ́run ṣọta nímọ̀ làwọn ní bọ́bí ọlọ́run kó gbà wá lọ́wọ́ ìjàmbá ọkọ̀ ní o gbogbo òpópónà àjàjà ọ̀nà Ìbàdàn wọ́n tẹ̀ lọ́ọ̀ sí àti tó iná rì mọ́ mi ní àwọn eléyìí ń sin yàtì rest in jail bẹ́ẹ̀ ni o kó rest in jail ni àwọn bòròró tán mú. wọ́n wá kọrin fún Fubara wọ́n ní wọ́n wá gbé fún padì yẹn padì ọdẹ ń sìn wọ́n wá gbé fún padì yẹn padì Fubara ó mú mi díẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n ká máa wo ibi tí ó gbà yọ wọ́n ní ibà ṣáṣu ṣẹ́wà wọ́n mi fún mi lọ́lá bèlò mi dáadáa wọ́n ní ọ̀gbẹ́ni Bobby ọkọ wa adùn ló máa gbẹ̀yìn ayé yín ọmọ Ìwó olódò ọba ọmọ atẹ́nigbọ́ ọlọ́run máa tẹ́nigbọ́ rẹ̀ atúngbárí ọmọ olóde òkúta love you ẹ kí àyà wà yá wọ́n ní kí ọ̀hún love wọn náà ìyá fẹ́ mọ̀ ṣe nínú. mọ́mí Hannah ń sùn wọn ní pọ̀ wọ́n tẹ lọ́ọ̀ sí Oòduà nation no going back mo rí nǹkan panu lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́. mọ́mí Stella Ògúnbàjò wọ́n ní Oòduà nation no going back ní àṣẹ Elédùmarè àwa la máa borí àwọn ọ̀tá wa Ìgbòho ṣá mo bá yín yọ̀ èmi náà yọ̀ fúnra mi o. gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Oòduà onínúure àkó oríire pẹ̀lú. báàmí Abduldan McCarthy wọ́n ní Obi àtàyà ìyá tó ń wá oúnjẹ APC yìí kọ́mẹ́ndì Tinubu ṣùgbọ́n kò sọ̀rọ̀ lórí accountability láti monitor allocations. ibi ó yé mọ̀mọ́dénù ń tán fẹ́ jẹ lọ́wọ́ APC gangan ní kókó mọ́mí Oyèyẹmí sí Sàláù wọ́n ní ọlọ́run á ràn yín lọ́wọ́ o èṣù kò ní yá ìwọ́n tẹ lọ́ọ̀fù sí wa o wọ́n sì tẹ̀ sí àwọn onígbéyàwó ẹni tó fóyìnbó. báàmí Adésínà Ọládẹ́ǹdè báàmí dáadáa wọ́n ní Obi má yẹ kí bàbá oníbúrẹ́dì gba ẹlẹ́yà mọ́ ẹ lọ́wọ́ o ohun tí mo rí lára ẹlẹ́yà ni oníbúrẹ́dì oníbú gan ló ṣe fẹ́ gba ẹlẹ́yà àtòyún ẹlẹ́yà náà bá dé o wọ́n ní ẹ̀ka lẹ́ babe ẹ má wọ̀rí bàbá náà fẹ́ sọ àbí babe àbẹ tó fẹ́ bá babe mi lọ wọ́n ti ń pè yín babe bí o bàbá mi Adésínà ẹ má wọrí ìlàlẹ́ òní mo máa kó ẹrù mi wá because bàbá oníbúrẹ́dì ò sú ọmọ and àwọn ìyáálé màámi náà ò fẹ́ràn mi bọ̀ tí ẹ lè fẹ́ mi pẹ̀lú ìwà mi ẹ gbọ́ bàbá mi Adésínà ṣe é gbàlejò. mi Stella Òdèlè wọ́n ní ọ̀gbẹ́ni Bobby ẹ̀ka alẹ́ o I wish wọ́n ní happy married life ohun ìdàrú òní wọlé wọn tẹ love rẹpẹtẹ sáwọn onígbéyàwó tọkọtaya. Bísí Mákanjúọlá ẹmọ̀kú ọdún mẹ́jọ wọ́n ní yín olúwa ọba ìnípẹ̀kun. Bámi Òkènlá Adédọ̀tún wọ́n ní Olùkùnmi Bobby wọ́n ní àtẹ̀yìnkọ̀gbọ́n àkété ajáwo. Agẹ́lẹ́ títàn ó lọ ń fi abẹ́ pamọ́ lọ́rọ̀ àwọn security agent wa bí kíní ká ti pe tí kíkun tí wọ́n ń kọ́kọ́ kọ sí gbogbo intelligence information yẹn ẹ̀sìn kírun jàre bọ́ ṣe ń kọ́ sí nìyẹn o kì í sì ìsàlákọ̀ọ́kọ́ kì í ṣẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì kì í ṣẹlẹ́ẹ̀kẹta kì í ṣẹlẹ́ẹ̀kẹrin ó sì ń cost lives. àmọ́ bóyá mi etí àlà ló wà nù ọ̀tẹlẹ̀múyẹ́ Kwara ni kò yé wa o. bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni wọ́n tẹ̀síwájú wọn ní Olùkùnmi Bobby àwọn tí ó gba ráìsì pọ̀ mọ́ iyẹ̀pẹ̀ yẹn ò jẹ̀bi rárá tí a bá mọ poverty level tí ó wà nílùú yẹn nísinsìnyí ṣe bí ráìsì ọ̀fadà olókùúta là ń jẹ níjọ́sí tí àwọn ìyá wa máa ń fi igbá separate nínú omi ẹ̀ ṣerun kírun jàre ṣùgbọ́n ilẹ̀ ẹlẹ́tàn dà sí yẹn oríṣiríṣi ló wà ń bẹ yẹn bọ́n ṣàánú wa o wọ́n ròyìn o. At Tayo Ajayi bá mi mo ti padà dọ́dọ̀ wọn ní Nigerian ministers are too much more powerful than ministers in other countries of the world and the constitution didn't give them such power but the judiciary and police did. Ire o wọn tẹ lọ́ọ̀sì àti nǹkan pàánù ibi tó bá bá yé ara wọn dé Nàìjíríà. Wọ́n mi mo súnmọ́lá olúwo tèmi nìkan wọ́n ní wìlérè inú abímọ kúkì dùn wíkì lẹ́fẹ̀ẹ́kọ wíkì wọ́n ní èpè máa pa ẹ́ ṣé torí rẹ̀ náà ṣe dá ìpínlẹ̀ Rivers mọ́ mi ṣé torí rẹ̀ nọ́ọ̀sì jẹ́ bá ń tún kà dáadáa wọ́n ní ṣé torí rẹ̀ náà ṣe dá ìpínlẹ̀ Rivers dílé. Ìrọ̀hún orí kà mọ́ mi ó dáa mo rí lọ́ọ̀fù àti fúláwà tẹ̀sí abẹ́ náà ní ẹjẹ́ àdọ́dọ̀ mọ́ mi Mọ̀dínà Solomon wọ́n ní bọ̀bọ̀ kì í bọ̀bọ̀ ibà ìbọ̀bọ̀ kì í bọ̀bọ̀. wọ́n ní it is hard to save because their money is programmed to pay bills bẹ́ẹ̀ ni o bẹ́ẹ̀ èèyàn ò bá ṣagídí tàbí kọ́ ló ń kẹ́yàn owó ò ṣe é fi pamọ́ ń lo ìbò ń bò. ẹ̀yin tẹ́ tiẹ̀ wà ní USA ń gbìyànjú ẹ̀ ń ṣiṣẹ́ méjì mẹ́ta UK náà wọ́n ń ṣiṣẹ́ méjì mẹ́ta ṣé ẹ̀rọ àtàwà wà ní Europe yòókù yìí wọ́n prógráàmù wa fúnṣẹ́ kan ni adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run tí a o. bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni wọ́n ní there is light 24/7 water heater etc no basic amenities back home àwọn àǹfààní tá à ń jẹ ni. At Joseph Oyèkánmi bá mi o wọ́n ní ó bí nítorí Ọlọ́run ọba tí ò bá jẹ́ wípé ìyá mi àti ìyàwó mi jẹ́ obìnrin ni ẹ wò ó ń bá sọ̀rọ̀ sí arábìnrin tó ń yin President Tinubu yìí well ohun tí ìyá máa jẹ ló ń wá happy Sunday to we all àti ìdílé aláyọ̀ happy Sunday to you bá mi. At Fọlákànmí Omíbíyì wọ́n ní ọ̀gbẹ́ni Bobby ẹ kú iṣẹ́ o please I have an information that I want you to go through but I don't know your WhatsApp to send it to from Eastern Texas. àná láti wàá fi WhatsApp wá bẹ̀ nínú fídíò àná WhatsApp number wá wà ń bẹ̀ a fi sínú abala comment section yẹn kan náà béèrè fún. bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni àtìmọ́ mi Christiana Sheba wọ́n ní òbí ibà oníròyìn amúlòdùn ọkọ̀ àwa ìyáálé ẹlẹ́yà ṣé ìyàwó wa kò tí ì tó bímọ látijọ́ ìní àwa ń retí ọmọ Oòduà nation no going back òbí àtàyà ẹ ṣeun mama Sheba from Minnesota USA wọ́n tẹ lọ́ọ̀sì àwọn fún ọmọ tá àti ìbìn flower wọ́n fi nǹkan panu ẹ kọ́kọ́ fi owó fúdù ránṣẹ́ náà ẹ bá ti kó owó fúdù ránṣẹ́ yóò bímọ. bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni àtìmọ́rí Adéyẹmọ bá mi dáadáa wọ́n ní òbí bàbá Ọbásanjọ́ sọ fún àwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà nígbà kan pé NNPC kò lè ṣiṣẹ́ mọ́ nítorí àwọn àìṣedéédé tó wà ń bẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n owó tí wọ́n fẹ́ jí kò jẹ́ kí wọ́n gbọ́ sí bàbá yìí lẹ́nu o wọ́n ń kó owó sápò ara wọn ni. Àtòyẹyẹmí Sàlámù mi dáadáa wọ́n ní ọmọ àlè ní ọmọkùnrin yìí ó onímọ̀lẹ́ àti onígbàgbọ́ abẹ́ oníṣẹ̀ṣe ni gbogbo wọn sápamọ́ sí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá nínú ìṣẹ̀ṣe láti jáde wá bẹ́ẹ̀ ni Orísun wa nù wọ́n tẹ lọ́ọ̀fù sí a sì ní fọwọ́ òsì ju ilé bàbá wa. At David Túndé Abbey wọ́n tẹ lọ́ọ̀fù rẹpẹtẹ sí àwọn orí nǹkan panu náà ó pọ̀ jaburata. God will bless you jaburata yàfún ó yá God will bless you yàfún orin Gbénga Adéwùsì nù. báà mi mo rí Adéyẹmọ mú ní Wike ọlọ́pàá èwo ń tẹ pé ó lágbára o àléegun lọ́fun ẹ̀rí tó fún rẹ̀ ràn fún wọ́n tẹ lọ́ọ̀fù sí Wike mo gbà padà lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀. mọ́ọ̀mí Dorcas dúró olúwa tún mi ṣe wọ́n ní nínú àwọn ọmọ kò lè níyàn ọmọ ológo pọ̀ nínú wọn Ọlọ́run nìkan ló lè mú wọn já sí gbangba o. Nnamdi Kanu mọ̀ pé síta tó ń dákún wàhálà rẹ̀ please stand over. wọ́n ní intelligence ológun US kò lè ṣiṣẹ́ pẹ̀lú ti Nàìjíríà o nítorí àwọn agbẹ̀yìngbẹ̀bọjẹ́ nínú ológun Nàìjíríà Oòduà nation no going back from Providence Rhode Island àwọn tọ̀tẹlẹ̀múyẹ́ báyìí ló yẹ kán wá fura sí ní Kwara. mọ́ọ̀mí Comfort Òjó wọ́n ní good job ọ̀gbẹ́ni Bobby àtàyà fún ìròyìn lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ tí ẹ̀ ń fún wa Olúwa yóò máa pa ìjáde àti ìwọlé yín mọ́ good night o gbogbo ilé aláyọ̀ yìí God bless us abundantly amen God bless you. mọ́ọ̀mí Agnes Shelley wọ́n ní ọ̀gbẹ́ni Bobby ẹni tí ebi hungry bá ń pa kò sí ohun tí kò lè jẹ ló dífá fún ìrẹsì àti yẹ̀pẹ̀. wọ́n ṣàfọ́nù dáadáa. Àtìkò síranù one wọ́n ní àwọn yẹ̀yẹ́ Briti aláràkà oníbẹ́gibẹ́gi no level full of fake life, so shameful. You people are supposed to be a role model to our society but you all failed. Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni wọ́n ní that man mọ̀mí Agnesele arrested in Kano. Okay, tó bá oògùn olóró lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀ tó gbé oògùn olóró mi ó yá sùnmí dídùn. Wọ́n ní ó ní lọ́ọ̀kì ní o ká ní China tó gbé lọ́nà tí mú wọ́n ní kúlèrè ẹ̀ṣẹ̀. At Ganiu Akande, wọ́n ní God bless you. My question too, why didn't they find the people that were kidnapped first? Ó yé mi náà lẹ́nu oníwọ́rọ̀. At Eniola Fọláwíyọ́ wọ́n tẹ love rẹpẹtẹ sí abímọ mi bómi Krista náà ṣe wọ́n tẹnu. Mọ́mí Adésọlá Olútóyìn Sunday wọ́n ní ẹ̀ka alẹ́ òbí àti ambassador àyá mọ́mí ẹ̀ka alẹ́ àtẹ̀wọ́ kó máa ro oya kó mẹ́ta ẹ̀wọ̀lé wa máa lè ká ẹ̀wọ̀. Wọ́n ní akó ìsinmi òní ìdílé aláyọ̀yẹlẹ́ àti ìyálé wa àgbàǹkọ́ yóò yẹ wá kò ní yẹ ẹ̀lẹ́ o Odua nation no going back. Grandma láti UK mo rí èso tẹ fi ránṣẹ́ sí ẹlẹ́yà náà tí wàá dá yín lóhùn. Wọ́n ní àmì àlàáfíà láwa o mo ṣe òfófó kan fún yín àní ìyálé wa àgbà náà ti lóyún ìyálé yẹn mọ́ mi abẹ́ akíse mọ́ yẹn gbọ́ mọ́ mi títí láyò Ìbánjí ẹ̀yin náà bá wí òye méjèèjì wọ́n lẹ́yìn ní méjèèjì ti lóyún o ẹ má sọ fún ẹnìkankan o because mo máa ṣe kinní yẹn fún wa I love you ma. Mo mọ ibi tí mo sì fi ọ̀rọ̀ ẹlẹ́yà àti ìsìn ọlọ́wọ́n bá mọ́ mi mo súnmọ́ lọ́wọ́ lúwo tèmi nìkan wọ́n ní ọ̀bẹ ní bọ́bí tèmi nìkan kú ọ̀sẹ̀ tuntun yìí o ẹni tó kú ní tiẹ̀ gbé o ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Kwara ó tọ́ kí gbogbo orílẹ̀-èdè gbààwẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n kí la rí àwọn olóṣèlú ń ṣèyàwó fọ́mọ wọ́n fi ará ìlú pawẹ̀ dẹ̀ wọ́n ti sí Ọlọ́run kò burú mọ́ mi wọ́n tẹ lọ́ọ̀bù sí amúrí pineapple àyàwó abẹ pineapple yìí. At báàmì Adésínà Ọládẹ́ndé wọ́n ní òbí àwọn kérúbù ìkálẹ̀ ni wọ́n máa ń mu ọtí nínú ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì wọn o ṣé lóòótọ́? Àyà oníròyìn apanilẹ́rìn kọ́ òbí ìbámi kí ẹlẹ́yà fún mi o. Amúlòdùn ìyàwó ẹlẹ́sẹ̀ ire obìnrin ọlọ́yàyà wọ́n tẹ lọ́ọ̀sẹ́lẹ̀ fún mi àwọn náà ti ń dọ́gbọ́n ṣẹ́jú sí yín bá mi fúdà whether I can't love you less baby mi fúdà ẹ̀yin ni baby wọ́n ń sìn ẹ dá sọ́bù mi lára jàre àsàmárìgì ọkọ mi ibà síbẹ̀síbẹ̀ fúdà ibà lọ́bí bọ́bí ọjọ́ yín á túbọ̀ dá lẹ́sà àmín. Just love you, I can't love you less. Ṣeun. Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni ẹjẹ́ àdọ́dọ̀ mọ́ mi Olúfúnkẹ́ Fájìmọ́lú wọn ní Bobby bàbá kí ó gba góòdù sọ ọ̀pọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ nígbà tí wọ́n lọ bẹ Aláàfin Ọ̀yọ́ Òwò Adéwò wọ́n sì jẹ́ kí ó yé wípé ohun tó ṣẹlẹ̀ láti máa pín alàgbà ṣẹlẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ọba Adéyẹmí please turn over. Àtìmọ́jí Adésànyà mọ́ mi ní eléré ibú ni obìnrin kéèyàn wà báyìí defending failure and evil will slay evil minister àtàwọn ẹgbẹ́ rẹ̀ gbogbo àṣẹ. Mọ́mí Olúfúnkẹ́ Fájìmọ́lú wọ́n ní pẹ̀lú gómìnà Akálà àti Ọọ̀ni Síjọ́adé kí ọba Adéyẹmí ní láti gbé Akálà lọ sí ilé ẹjọ́ ṣùgbọ́n Akálà kọ àkọọ́lẹ̀ kó tó kúrò dípò gómìnà please turn over. Mọ́mí Mary Odùnú ìtèmi nìkan wọ́n ní Bobby mi tòótọ́ àwárá yìí ó gbogbo ọmọ ọkọ Yorùbá ni wọ́n ní ẹ̀sìn mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta òdodo ọ̀rọ̀ náà ni ẹni tó sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀bi ẹ̀kọ́ ìjọba tí wọ́n ní àjẹ́ndà láti sọ gbogbo wa di oníjàgíjàgan ní o Yorùbá nation ni ó lè yanjú ẹ̀ wọ́n tẹ love sí a. Mọ́mí Olúfúnkẹ́ Fájìmọ́lú the third comment wọ́n ní nítorí ìdí èyí ohun mẹ́ta ló ń fa Ọ̀yọ́ sẹ́yìn o ìkùnsínú wà láàrin ọba Síjọ́adé àtàdéyẹmí ṣùgbọ́n ọba Ògúnwùsì ní láti wá Adéyẹmí lọ fún àtúnṣe. Bómi Krista àwọn sọ wọ́n tẹ lọ́ọ̀fù gbọ̀nàgbọ̀nà sí ìfẹ́ yìí náà ni. Ọmọ́táyọ̀ Akínòsì wọ́n ní ó bi àwọn òjòlú Nàìjíríà láìláàánú kò ṣe needful fún gbogbo ọmọ Nàìjíríà kò sí iná kò sí títì kò sí omi kò sí hospital and so on Ọlọ́run máa ṣèdájọ́ gbogbo wọn ní àìláàánú àṣẹ Ìdùmarè. Clement Ọládẹjọ wọ́n ní Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Bobby I supported the way Fubara is handling the system ṣé lóòótọ́ ó rìn dín lójú tèmi o Yorùbá ní eégún tó kọ́kọ́ jó ìran ló máa wò kẹ́yìn o remember Fubara says it does not bark. Wọ́n tẹ lọ́ọ̀sẹ̀ àti nǹkan panu àmọ́ wo ọ̀nà tó fẹ́ gbà yọ. Mọ́mí Adésọlá Ọládèjì wọ́n ní kò sí ìwé mímọ́ kan tí ò tọ́ka sí pípa ènìyàn àyàfi ìwọ tí o bá pa ènìyàn ìwé mímọ́ ní kí wọ́n pa ọwọ́ idà ni a ò fi pa ẹni tí ó fi idà pa ènìyàn ẹni tí ó mọ̀ọ́mọ̀ pa ènìyàn. Ìwé mímọ́ tó ní ẹni tó bá pààyàn idà la fi pààyàn in fact lọ́dọ̀ àwa Kìrìsìtẹ́nì inú Old Testament ni gbogbo ẹ̀ ti di ọwọ́ òfin báyìí. Wọ́n pa àwọn olórìṣà náà láyé John nínú bíbélì, ṣùgbọ́n nígbà tí Jésù dé ó ní gbogbo nǹkan ti yí padà. Nítorí ẹ̀ lẹ́rìí pé ẹ̀sìn kìrìsìtẹ́nì ẹ̀ lè bá lọ́wọ́ wọn pé wọ́n ń torí ẹ̀sìn pààyàn. Ẹ wá wo ẹ̀sìn ìṣẹ̀ṣe tí gbogbo àwọn èèyàn ń tàbùkù gan. Mi ò rí nínú fárí tàbí nínú gbogbo nǹkan máa ń kà fún wa wípé kán rè pa àwọn ẹlẹ́sìn mi kán pa wọn rùn. Mi ò rí. Ọlọ́run jẹ́ àgbọ́n ẹ̀sìn ìṣẹ̀ṣe là gbà. Ẹ̀jẹ̀ àdọ́dọ̀ mọ́ mi Florence Alade wọ́n ní Abala Sanawole ọ̀rọ̀ Fúlàní kò gbọ́dọ̀ jọ yín lójú, ẹ̀mí màálùú ṣe iyebíye lójú wọn ju ti ènìyàn lọ. Àwọn aláyébàjẹ́ ìdájọ́ Ọlọ́run ń bọ̀ kankan lórí wọn, gbogbo wọn ló mọ̀ sí pípa náà. Oòduà nation ní kíákíá, ẹ bá mi kí àyà wọn tẹ lọ́ọ̀sẹ̀ àti nǹkan ọ̀pá ní gbogbo tó tiẹ̀ ń tọ́ka sí ìrìn àjò wọ́rọ̀ yẹn wọ́n mọ̀ sí, torí lẹ́yìn ìgbà tán tún wọgbó, lẹ́yìn ìgbà tán fail intelligence wọ́n tún wọgbó, àwọn ará agbòròrò náà tún kó jáde, wọn rántí kó àwọn tán jí gbé lọ. Ibà màámi mo ti ń retí wọn ní àyà ọ̀rọ̀ tí gọ́vnà Borno sọ kò yà mí lẹ́nu nítorí wípé Alimodu Sheriff ló lè foundation terrorism, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni Shettima served as commissioner and later became governor. Ẹni ègbé ní gbogbo wọn o. Àtìmákanjú anífowóṣe wọ́n ní òbí ẹkú iṣẹ́ Olúwa wà pẹ̀lú yín lórúkọ Jésù, àmì ẹ̀ ní tẹnugbó bí ọwọ́ àṣẹ Èdùmàrè. Oòduà nation no going back ní capital letter ni wọ́n ní kí n kí ẹlẹ́yà kí n lọ tù wọ́n lára ọ̀dà ẹlẹ́yà ò sì ń lé o, wọ́n ti lọ tura lọ́dọ̀ báàmì Adésínà Ọládẹ́ǹdè. Ẹjẹ́ àdọ́dọ̀ àti bá màámi wọ́n ní àyà Wike is proud and reserved. He spends lavishly, especially when he has to do with politics. For him to openly shower curses, Fubara's stand has really crippled him financially. Politics a dirty game. Strength ti Fubara nìyẹn. Yẹ́wọ̀n pa ti sọ wípé òun ló ní resources state lọ́wọ́, ṣùgbọ́n kó náà mọ́ wà rẹpẹtẹ. Ó ń rẹpẹtẹ jù lójú tèmi o. Ó ra ìkáàbọ̀ padà wá nǹkan fìdílé o. Happy new week o. Ọ̀sẹ̀ yóò san wá sówó san wá sọmọ san wá sàìkú bá lé ọ̀rọ̀. Ẹ wá nǹkan tẹ́ẹ̀mọ̀ fi sọ̀rọ̀ àjìjà tẹ́ẹ̀mọ̀ fi panu. Kẹ́ wá nǹkan ẹlẹ́rìndòdò tẹ́ẹ̀mọ̀ fi tì sọ̀n kí wọ́n mọ̀ gbé yín dé ẹ̀ báyìí báyọ̀ bọ́ bá dilẹ̀ bó bá dénú yín ẹ bá pín fáwọn olólùfẹ́ yín. Ẹ mọ́ sì gbàgbé 5 lines ní kọ́mẹ́ǹtì wa o. Bó bá ti gùn ju 5 lines lọ à ń gbalé ṣàgbójú ni o. Alákọ̀ọ́kọ́ nù ròyìn lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ tòní ní eléyìí tá a ti mẹ́nubà. Ẹ jẹ́ á dé Ọ̀yọ́ níbi ìkọlù tó ṣẹlẹ̀ tí wọ́n ti pa àwọn 5 ní Ọ̀yọ́ Park. Wọ́n ní ọ̀kan lára àwọn afurasí agbébọn tó ṣekú pa aṣọ́gbó 5 nílùú Ọlọ́ká ní ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ Oríire l'Ógbómọ̀ṣọ́ ní Ọ̀yọ́ State. Abubakar Abdullahi ti sọ ó ti jẹ́wọ́ nítorí àwọn Fúlàní darandaran 3 tó wà láhàámọ́ àwọn aṣọ́gbó tó jẹ́ iye kan àwọn náà fẹ́ wá tú sílẹ̀ náà ṣe ṣekú pa àwọn tán bá lọ́nà o. Afurasí Abdullahi ní Mohammed Dangi tó jẹ́ igbákejì olórí ẹgbẹ́ jàǹdùkú agbébọn àwọn agbésùmọ̀mí ọ̀hún ló pe òun wípé káwọn jọ ṣiṣẹ́ náà o. Tí ẹ ò bá gbàgbé ọjọ́ 6 oṣù kìíní ọdún 2026 yìí làwọn agbébọn ya wọ ọ́fíìsì àwọn aṣọ́gbó nílùú Ọlọ́ká níbi tí wọ́n ti pa àwọn 5. Ní nǹkan bí aago 9 alẹ́ ni a gbọ́ pé àwọn jàǹdùkú agbébọn náà tí wọ́n jẹ́ 10 wọ́n gun ọ̀kadà wọ́n tẹ̀léra wọn wọ ìlú Ọlọ́ká pẹ̀lú ìbọn àtàwọn onírúurú nǹkan ìjà olóró míì. A tún gbọ́ wípé àwọn agbébọn náà jí ìbọn 2 àti alùpùpù táwọn èèyàn mọ̀ sí ọ̀kadà 3 gbé lọ lẹ́yìn tí wọ́n ṣekú pa àwọn aṣọ́gbó náà tán. Bákan náà ni wọ́n tún dáná sun ọ̀kadà 2 ní ọ́fíìsì àwọn aṣọ́gbó ọ̀hún. Nígbà tó ń ṣàlàyé bí ọwọ́ ṣe tẹ àwọn afurasí náà, agbẹnusọ iléeṣẹ́ ọlọ́pàá ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ DSP Ọláyínká Àyànládé ṣàlàyé pé CSP Ayọ̀délé Adépẹ̀tù ní kọmíṣánná ọlọ́pàá nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ CP Fẹ́mi Haruna pàṣẹ wípé kó léwájú iṣẹ́ ìwádìí lẹ́yìn táwọn agbébọn náà tán sọ̀sẹ̀ tán o. DSP Aláyàndé ní iṣẹ́ ìwádìí ló ṣokùnfà bọ́wọ́ ọlọ́pàá sí kọ́kọ́ tẹ afurasí 3 nínú àwọn 10. Ó ní lẹ́yìn náà tún ní ìwádìí tẹ̀síwájú tí ọwọ́ ọlọ́pàá tún tẹ 4 míì nínú wọn o, èyí tó jẹ́ káwọn afurasí tọwọ́ ti bàbá yìí di 7. Orúkọ àwọn afurasí agbébọn tó ṣekú pa àwọn aṣọ́gbó 5 nílùú Ọlọ́ká ni Mohammed Dangi tó jẹ́ olórí wọn, Abubakar Sẹ́sàmù, Abubakar Abdullahi, Shehu Usman Toro, Malami Usman, Alhaji Umaru Alhaji tún ní o, Laolo Muhammadu Laolo ìṣe Yorùbá o, àti Usman Alhaji Isa Alhaji 2. Abubakar tó jẹ́ ọ̀kan lára àwọn afurasí jàǹdùkú agbébọn náà sọ pé Fúlàní lòun láti ìpínlẹ̀ Kebbi agbègbè Bọ́lọ̀ndúró lòun sì ń gbé nílùú Òṣogbo. Ṣé ń gbọ́ àárín yín ní ń gbé o. Wọ́n ní l'Ógbómọ̀ṣọ́ Ògbómọ̀ṣọ́ ní gbé o. Wọ́n ní Abubakar ní darandaran lòun, òun sì tún máa ń kópa nínú ìjínigbé pẹ̀lú àwọn akẹgbẹ́ òun. Ó ní láti ìlú Bódé Sáádú nípínlẹ̀ Kwara ló ń ti da ẹran dé ìlú Ògbómọ̀ṣọ́. Ṣé ti ń gbọ́ àti sọ pé Kwara ni ó gbàbọ̀dé fúnra Yorùbá. Abubakar ṣàlàyé pé Muhammadu Dangi ló ránṣẹ́ pé òun, ó sì sọ fún mi àtàwọn yòókù mi wípé kí a lọ pa ẹnikẹ́ni tí a bá rí ní ọ́fíìsì àwọn aṣọ́gbó nílùú Ọlọ́ka. Nǹkan tó sọ fún wa ni wípé àwọn aṣọ́gbó náà ti ju darandaran Fúlàní mẹ́ta sí àhámọ́. Ó ní ká dóòlà àwọn Fúlàní mẹ́ta ọ̀hún tí a bá ti pa àwọn aṣọ́gbó náà tán. Báyìí ni a ṣe dóòlà àwọn èèyàn wa lẹ́yìn tí a pa àwọn aṣọ́gbó náà tán o. 10 ní gbogbo wa, ọ̀kadà 5 ni a gbé lọ sí ìlú Ọlọ́ka lọ́jọ́ náà pẹ̀lú ìbọn AK-47 5. Bákan náà ni a tún gbé àwọn nǹkan ìjà olóró míì dání. Ọ̀nà jíjìn ni a gbé àwọn ọ̀kadà wa sí kí a tó fẹsẹ̀ rìn lọ sí ọ́fíìsì àwọn aṣọ́gbó náà níbi tí a ti ṣínà ìbọn bolẹ̀. Mi ò mọ ìgbà tí wọ́n ń gbèrò láti ṣe ìkọlù náà, àmọ́ ń darapọ̀ mọ́ wọn lọ́jọ́ tí ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ yìí ṣẹlẹ̀ gangan. Ẹ̀wẹ̀, alukoro iléeṣẹ́ ọlọ́pàá ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ti sọ pé ìwádìí sì ń lọ lọ́wọ́ láti má àwọn afurasí 3 tó kù kí wọ́n lè fojú balẹ̀ ẹjọ́. Ẹ jẹ́ ṣe kíákíá kẹ́ ẹ mọ́ tún fi ẹ̀mí àwọn èèyàn ségbodò. Pápápá náà máa ń dárú ẹjọ́ yìí. Ní kẹ́ ẹ mọ́ ṣèwádìí o, ìwádìí náà ló jẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ tún máwọn èèyàn sí o. Ṣùgbọ́n lára àwọn tẹ́ ẹ fi pamọ́ tipẹ́tipẹ́ ló jẹ́ kán rèé pa àwọn ẹni ẹlẹ́ni dànù báyìí. Wọ́n ti tú àwọn 3 yẹn lẹ̀. Ẹ kàn fúnra yín níṣẹ́ parambuleti ṣe ni. Ẹ tún sẹ́ mọ́ wá àwọn 3 tán túlẹ̀ àtàwọn tó wá tú wọn lẹ̀, ẹ tún sẹ́ wá wọn. Ọ̀nà dàrẹ́ bá tún kọ́ àwọn 7 eléyìí sínú àhámọ́. Ọ̀nà dà táwọn mí ò tún ní rembọ́ọ̀sì ara wọn pé àwọn fẹ́ lọ gbèjà wọn. Ẹ jẹ́ tètè ṣe pápápá. Bóyá kẹ́ ẹ kọ́kọ́ yanjú mélòó nú àwọn eléyìí náà. Ẹyọ kan tó bá kù tó lè tó mọ̀nà dáadáa tó lè mú ìrìn àjò investigation yín yá, kẹ́ ẹ fòun lẹ̀, kẹ́ ẹ mú kẹ́tẹ́ fi máwọn yòókù. Ẹ mọ̀ kó wọn pamọ́ fún ọjọ́ pípẹ́ o. Pápápá speed kí ni wọ́n pè náà, speed pressure ṣe pápápá. Ìrántí ìbò owó ni wọ́n mọ́ rántí. Ó yà ní lẹ́nu torí ìbọn bá ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀. Kó má jẹ́ pé irú story tá a tún gbọ́ yìí láti tún gbọ́ o. Ẹ ṣàfi ọkàn bọ́rọ̀ Nàìjíríà sì rí nu. Ẹ jẹ́ á tẹ̀síwájú nínú ìròyìn táwọn mẹ́nubà ní ìsìn. Ẹ jẹ́ á lọ tààràtààrà sí ọ̀dọ̀ Pétérù níbi tó ti ń kì í fún Òsì Ọ̀mọ̀lẹ̀. Lẹ́yìn ìgbà tí Òsì Ọ̀mọ̀lẹ̀ jẹ́wọ́, gbogbo ayé ti ẹ̀ rò pé bóyá yóò mọ̀ sí àtẹnumọ́ pé AI ní fídíò yẹn níbi tó ti ń fọwọ́ pa ọmọbìnrin kan lẹ́sẹ̀, pé yóò mọ̀ ṣàtẹnumọ́ rẹ̀ ní àfi bá a ṣe gbọ́ tó sọ wípé iṣẹ́ tó ń fẹ́ gbé fún un iṣẹ́ tó nípọn ni. Mo ní ó nípọn náà lóòótọ́, pé iṣẹ́ celebrity ni, pé àwọn fẹ́, èmi lè pè ní London image, àwọn fẹ́ tún image ṣé ti Nàìjíríà ló lóun fẹ́ tún ṣe ni àbí image senate. Àwọn fẹ́ tún image ṣe, ṣùgbọ́n àwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà náà fẹ́ London image ni. Ó wà á rí celebrity kankan ọmọ Nàìjíríà, celebrity South Africa ló wá rí ìbáyìí ní òsì gbàgbó. Òun ló rìlíìsì fídíò yẹn. Kò gbàgbó. Ó wá fẹ́ pè ní AI máa lọ́wọ́. Tó bá yá gan ẹ mọ̀ pé ra yín ní AI o. AI ni ẹ̀ńtẹ̀ ń wò yìí o. Táyé á sì mọ̀ gbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu yẹn á mọ̀ pé yín ni. AI gan sá. AI náà kò wá lè beautify bọ̀dá yẹn dáadáa. Kó jẹ́ kan young. Á rí AI fídíò láàrin ìdààmú. Àṣírí sá ti tú. Ṣùgbọ́n lọ́rọ̀ kan Pétérù ló ń fẹ́ fún ní ọ̀rọ̀ jẹ. Ẹ bá ń tẹ̀sí.
We need. What am I doing wrong? No. Is it the passage? Everybody came out, we said that statement. We said, and Oshomole we knew, we know issue statement, he will address us. So we had waited. No. Then about the Senate, the president on the diplomatic victory recorded by the first lady.
Oh, yeah.
A leaked video just showed the Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the largest country in Africa. Yes. The leg of a random known lady. And initially, people tried to make excuse for him and said it was AI. We thought he would stick with that. But he now came out with a detailed explanation that his passionate love for Nigeria made him to contact this lady to launder the image of Nigeria. And there are no influencers. This girl is so good, that there are no influencers in Nigeria that can match her influencing roles, that he had to invite a South African lady. And in the course of flying with her, she complained of crap. And he was the closest person to massage. So why are Nigerians criticizing him?
I don't know. Nigerians are very terrible people. Do you know whether Oshomole runs a spa? Do you know whether he has been in masseuse before he went into Nigeria Labour Congress? You people are just judging the man. And when he said this girl is very good, do you know how good she is to Oshomole?
Which area he's good?
And what area he is good? She may have shown Oshomole a lot of expertise. You can never tell. You know, she said he brought for a senator to carry private jet. A whole Oshomole where they wear khaki go, they sweat. Who he's fighting this, they put leg on top of his leg and he was very carefully massaging it. If he has put that kind of pressure and, you know, intelligence or detail into budget, we would have had a better budget too. If the way Oshomole was massaging that leg, that is how he scrutinized the Electoral Act Amendment Bill, we will have real-time electronic transmission of result. But he takes that massage job more serious than the job he's doing in the National Assembly. That is why you must drain the swamp and send out non-essentials from that place. Nigeria has packed the Senate with a bunch of invalids, people that have no business in public office. Instead of allowing the best to lead the rest, we allow the worst to rule over and mislead the lives of the rest. It is a shame.
On a serious note, should that kind of attitude be condoned? And in civilized crimes, what should happen?
In civilized crimes, he will be the person to even tender his own resignation. What exactly is the salary of a senator? How did he get into the private jet? Is that person your spouse? In civilized societies, we claim to copy America. Why exactly was Bill Clinton impeached with the Monica Lewinsky issue at the time? Was it because it was not even, I mean...
The Senate of America saved him.
The Senate of America, yes.
House impeached him.
Impeached him, the Senate saved him. In Nigeria, you can do anything as a politician. Nigerian politicians are the luckiest set of people because they get away with anything. You can be a former criminal, you can steal money as governor and pay school fee in advance, and you will come out to say you are running for Senate, even when you have an active EFCC case. Nothing stops you. The more criminal-minded you are, the more immoral you are as a Nigerian politician, the more likely you will climb the ladder of success in Nigerian government. That is why the way we are going, non-terrorists and bandits, if we do not do anything about these elections, will contest for elections. They will come out and run for public office because they are emboldened. When you see criminals, you know, everybody, mafia is running. It is a criminal Armageddon. So when you see a person like Oshomole, and for him to be brazen enough to come out to even make that kind of statement, they tell you how they look at Nigerians, that everybody is just so they can move on. After all, what is it? Are you the one who paid for it? It doesn't matter. It is his personal life. So the conduct of persons in public office is not important.
Let's wrap up this way. The US President Donald Trump recently recognized Nigeria's First Lady, Remi Tinubu, at the White House prayer session. Does it mean anything to Nigeria's diplomacy? And the news has been everywhere as if Nigeria has just won the World Cup.
It is a shame. So what the First Lady is attending is a breakfast prayer meeting. So they claim because she's a pastor and then insecurity is going on and everywhere in the country and you are not able to prevail on your husband or whatever it is. So now, in fact, I even saw a video of Senator Oshomole going to visit President Tinubu to acknowledge the fact that the President of the United States acknowledged the First Lady of Nigeria who visited to attend the prayer breakfast. When governments are going to the White House to sign multinational deals, to enter into business contracts and economic deals that are advancing their countries. Recently, US has entered a trade deal with India, with the European Union. Has Tinubu gone into the White House to go and sign any deal? We are the biggest market in Africa. What is preventing Tinubu from going to the White House? Why the wife? Why is the First Lady? Is she an elected official? Did Nigerians vote for Madam Remi Tinubu? What is she going there to do? She has gone to Belarus at some point. When will Tinubu go to meet Trump and sign a trade deal? When will Tinubu go to meet Trump and say that, oh, we have ended insecurity, it is now open, everybody can feel safe, American expatriates can come, people can live and walk around the entire country. But while your wife is there, while people are doing that charade or whatever, you are doing more than 100 people, and we should be talking about First Lady going to sit down in a breakfast meeting. What did she come back with from the breakfast meeting? Maybe breakfast.
Don't you think maybe recognition of the First Lady is by parity of reason, recognition of the President?
By parity of reason, recognition of the President. First Lady. Mr. Victor, let us take Nigerians seriously and our country. Nigerian president, remember when people like Obasanjo, remember that US president used to visit this country. Bill Clinton and the rest. Remember the kind of respect that Nigeria was given on the global stage. When a Nigerian president speaks, he speaks with authority. There is almost no current mineral resource you are looking for in the world that you won't find in Nigeria. If you take away all our mineral resources, the human beings, the talents and potentials in this country is what makes us unique. The Nigerian president today is relegated to the back. If you see Tinubu across world leaders, he's almost hiding at one point, and then we are sending the wife of the president to go and attend the breakfast meeting. When will Tinubu go into the White House with his team of ministers? They sit down. Secretary of State Marco Rubio is here. The Defense Pete Hegseth is here. They sit down with Trump and they say, look, Nigeria, we are putting this kind of money. This is the value Nigeria is bringing to America. Imagine that kind of collaboration instead of looking like subordinates. You are inferior. That is what it means. We are inferior. We have admitted that we cannot stand. So whatever that will come as a win, First Lady don't go. They have celebrated her. President, that is what we are celebrating. More than 300 million intelligent people. God forbid this kind of country. Shame on Tinubu and the
ẹ káàbọ̀ padà òun ló wá dífá òrùn tá à ń gbọ́ tó sọ wípé wọ́n fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìwọ́de ẹrù ń bà Akpabio ìwọ́de sì dá lórí wípé kí wọ́n impeach Akpabio wọ́n sì láwọn tí mo ń rorúkọ wọn nínú rẹ́gísítà ìwọ́de yóò lé Ezekwesili mọ̀mọ́tà gbé wá lánàá Babafẹ́mi Fálànà Lálọ́ǹgì mo ló tiẹ̀ ti dá yìí. Former Minister of Youth and Sports Development Solomon Dalong has thrown his weight behind the planned protest at the National Assembly. Ṣùgbọ́n àyà ni kò yẹ kán gbà torí táwọn olóṣèlú bá ti ń darapọ̀ mọ́ wọn ni wọ́n á fún àwọn ará bíi lẹ́nu ọ̀rọ̀ wípé àwọn position ó wá sì jọ position náà ní tán béèrè fún nǹkan gidi ni wọ́n ní kò yẹ kán gba olóṣèlú tara àwọn tèmi rí wọn èso olóṣèlú àwọn ìlú mọ̀ọ́ká Nàìjíríà ni Ezekwesili Fẹ́mi Fálànà àtàwọn èèyàn jàǹkànjàǹkàn mi kàn mọ́ gba olóṣèlú kankan mọ́ra. Dalong made the remark on Sunday while featuring on guest èmi náà gbọ́ interview yẹn lórí channels mìíràn ní ìlú kó wọ́n gba time wa. Dalong endorsement came amid growing outrage over the Senate decision to remove mandatory electronic transmission of election results from the Electoral Act. Ṣùgbọ́n among the prominent figures expected to participate in the planned protest stand occupied NAS human rights lawyer Fẹ́mi Fálànà, former Minister of Education Dr. Obi Ezekwesili, renowned professor àwọn ọ̀pẹ́ pàtùtọ̀ mi ò wà ń bẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n àwọn náà wà ní ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú ẹ̀wọ̀n kan àwọn náà fẹ́ ṣe shadow government lọ́jọ́ sí tí DSS dáhùn lọ́wọ́ kọ́. Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni former Nigeria Labour Congress President Ayuba Wabba àti Dr. Usman Bugaje, Senator Shehu Sani and members of the Obedient Movement. Ní táwọn Obedient Movement bá ti dá sí Yusuf wà ń bẹ̀ lára wọn àwọn olóṣèlú náà ti dá sí náà nìyẹn wọ́n ní kò sí ti fi ń ṣe yẹn. Reacting, Dalong criticized the 10th Senate over his handling of the Electoral Act. Wọ́n lé wọlé iná gbé ẹ̀rù tó bá àwọn tó mú kí Senate President Akpabio tètè pé closed door meeting pàjáwìrì. Ṣùgbọ́n àyà ni ọ̀gá mi ẹmọ ìlọ o wọ́n ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìwọ́de o in fact ẹ bá ra wọn tó jáde gbogbo olóṣèlú Peter Obi wà ń bẹ̀ mo ní jẹ́ àwò o.
No be Tinubu get Nigeria. No be we get Nigeria. No be Shakima get Nigeria. All of us get Nigeria. Our vote must count. Our vote must count. Our vote must count. We are tired of selection. Give us election. We are tired of selection. Give us election.
Mo ní àyà mi ò tí ì rí Òbí sàn ní sọ wípé torí pé Òbí jó lóṣèlú ó ní kí n tutù àdánù. Ó ní ìgbà tí olódòdó ń ṣe tiwọn lọ́dún tó kọjá lọ́hùn lòdì sí Jonathan sáwọn èèyàn sọ pé olóṣèlú nìyẹn pé èèyàn sòṣèlú kò sòṣèlú tó bá ti jẹ́ pé nǹkan tó dáa náà ṣe ṣèwọ́de tó sì jẹ́ pé wà nínú constitution Nàìjíríà wípé gbogbo wa la ní right àti ṣèwọ́de wípé kò sí tó bá di eléyìí kì í ṣe pé wọ́n fẹ́ ba ìjọba anybody jẹ́ pé ṣé mo gbọ́ gbogbo ohun tí Peter sọ wípé wọ́n kàn ń lọ́bì kiri ni. Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà la gbé sọ̀rọ̀sọ̀rọ̀ Amẹ́ríkà kan wá tó sọ wípé wọ́n lọ́bì lọ́dọ̀ òun náà wọ́n fẹ́ change narrative òun ò gbà fún wọn ní wípé kí ló wá dé tí wọ́n fi ẹ̀tẹ̀ lẹ̀ tán palàpalàpà pé ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣèwọ́de mo láàyà.
This is the voice of Peter, an online content creator. Well, we are just, you can see the demand. You see the demand. All we are doing is a peaceful process to demand the right things be done. Our country cannot continue this way, where we have become negative in everything. We must now do the right thing. And that right is that small countries of the world are trying to do things rightly. You saw how even Ghana had to recall a high commissioner because of he did the wrong thing during primary. And then the giant of Africa is the one that wants to do things wrongly. What is wrong in just a simple process of transmitting votes properly? Simple transmission. It's not a difficult thing. Allow the elections to go through the normal process. Whoever wins will accept. So why are you bringing all sorts of confusion?
I want to ask you a question. Last week, they protested. And last night, the Senate
issue a statement saying that they are going to have an emergency plenary sitting tomorrow. Doesn't that make a difference?
That's what we are trying to make sure they make that difference.
So are you coming here tomorrow to protest it?
No. When they sit tomorrow, after they are sitting tomorrow,
they will not. It's as if it's a Nigerian situation that is working. They are working towards this action.
We are working. We are doing that. That's what it's good you are seeing me.
Well, there's always a first time for everything. Let's just get on. That's why we keep on. He's here for the people.
We're here. Go enter that place, bro.
Let me block here. Please, nobody should come this way.
We're here. Still demanding, still in the field, demanding for leadership. Everyone is here. What you demand the direct anyway? It's okay, sir.
They didn't allow you to enter. Yes, the police said we cannot enter. As law-abiding citizens, we are not part of rascality. We decided to obey that law, but we have conveyed our message to those who are supposed to know. And that message is clear. Let's have transparent election process. We're not asking for anything. It's something simple. It's for their own future, for the future of their own children. Today, there are senators, the honorables, some people are in power, but we are talking about what will endure for the future of the country. We need this country, we need the unity, we need the peace.
What is the implication of this action of the students on 2027 election?
You have seen the implication in 2023 election. We want to end glitch. No more glitch.
Now that we've been access into the National Assembly, what next step are we going to take?
We've conveyed our message. Our message is not known to them. Message is known to everybody. That's what you're carrying now. And we follow it up.
So why do you think the next president said that there are no mandatory commission of results? Why do you think this is going to want to rig the election? Or
I said you've seen the consequence in 2023. We don't want that repeat.
ṣùgbọ́n ká tó pe closed door meeting ká tó mọ̀ nǹkan máa bá bọ̀ àṣírí tú ká tó wá lọ sí di ìkànnì wọn tó tú àṣírí pé àwọn tí kọ́kọ́ pe closed door meeting gan pé ní táwọn fẹnu kò sí ní electronic transmission jẹ́ àkọ́kọ́ gbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu arákùnrin tèmi mọ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí òṣèré tíátà Ìgbò tẹ́lẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n tó náà ti di olóṣèlú báyìí ó sì ní òun kàwé gboyè òṣèlú ní òun ọ̀kan dédé jọyìn òṣèlú tó ń wo Kenneth Okonkwo ní Akpabio, an enemy of democracy, should be removed.
Let me tell you the beautiful, notable pronouncement by Abba Aji, Justice of the Supreme Court, as he still is. He said, modernity and technology stare us in the face, and we cannot turn back the hand of time. He said, to go against the use of technology and electronic transmission and transfer of election results in this high-tech era and period is to be an enemy of democracy and to stick to the vicious cycle of election rigging, manipulation, falsification, and subterfuge. This is the pronouncement of Abba Aji, Justice of the Supreme Court. And he went further to plead with the legislature that they should amend this.
Is it the
2023 article versus INEC, number 2, 2023, 19 Nigeria Weekly Law Report, part 1917, 761 at page 876. And in 877, the learned judge, Abba Aji, of the Supreme Court, went further to plead with the legislature to please nip this confusion in the bud by making it clear and unambiguous through amending the process that legislature, that INEC does not have any discretion, that it is mandatory. I have to state the case. Atiku's case was the only presidential appeal that was considered by the Supreme Court. So it is the only appeal now that tells you the position of the Supreme Court as long as presidential election is concerned, using the Electoral Act 2022. Now, some judges, even in that judgment, like Akomai again, was of the opinion that 2022 Act made it clear that electronic transmission is compulsory. He said it must be done. So the issue here is that some judges differed. Yeah. But the issue here is this. Why would the legislature prevaricate on an issue that the Supreme Court had told you that it encourages electoral rigging, manipulation, and makes you an enemy of democracy? What it means is that Senator Godswill Akpabio has become an enemy of democracy and is sticking to the vicious cycle of election rigging, manipulation, falsification, and subterfuge by trying to maintain the same provision that Supreme Court told you that if you do, you are an enemy of democracy. That man is an enemy of democracy and should be removed if he doesn't resign.
Lẹ́yìn ìgbà náà ẹ jẹ́ wá lọ sí ọ̀dọ̀ ìkànnù wọn tó tú àṣírí tó sọ wípé àwọn ti wà ní closed door meeting tẹ́lẹ̀ àfi bọ́n ṣe dé inú NAS complex tí Akpabio sì sáré lu olùmọ̀lẹ̀ tó sáré lu àwọn kan tán ti jọ discuss. How can elders continue to promote scam and backwardness against their country? All the senators agreed to pass electronic transmission. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọ̀rọ̀ arákùnrin yìí, ó ní all the senators ó láwọn ti agree to pass electronic transmission after a closed door session. But when we came back to the Senate chamber, the chief whip of the Senate, Senator Mohammed Taya, moved a motion to remove electronic transmission and retain transfer, which is in 2022 Electoral Act. And immediately, Deputy Senate President Jibrin Barau, orúkọ rẹ̀ lóró, seconded him, and Senate President Akpabio immediately put it to a vote and they passed it. This caused the issue.
I'm sure if you looked at the clip of that press conference, you will see me there standing with my colleagues, about 13 of us. So the issue of whether I agree with my colleagues or not does not arise anymore. We address the press conference together. But let me say, from the introduction you have made, quoting our Senate President to have said that the Senate cannot be intimidated by anybody in the process of lawmaking. Yes, the Senate will not be intimidated, but you know that democracy is government of the people, by the people, and for the people. So all actions taken up in any democratic governance must be in accord with the wishes of the people. The people are the center of democratic governance. And what they want and wish for cannot be trampled upon by anybody in government, no matter how highly placed. So on the issue at hand, electronic transmission of results, whether real time or no real time, the issue is electronic transmission of results. And that is what has elicited the present controversy. You recall that in 2023, after the general elections, that the results of the elections were challenged in court. So that was what informed the present effort to amend the 2022 Electoral Act and provide for electronic transmission of results on real time to the INEC viewing portal. So that is the major work which started more than a year ago. The Senate Committee on Electoral Matters and the House of Representatives Committee on Electoral Matters were charged with responsibility of kickstarting the process of amending the 2022 Electoral Act to cover a lot of things, not only electronic transmission of results. They were asked to look at the entire act and make recommendations. All national chairmen of political parties, the Independent National Electoral Commission, legal luminaries, even judges attended that conference. Civil society organizations all attended. And after brainstorming over the provisions of the 2022 Electoral Act, they came to a conclusion that the electronic transmission of results to the INEC portal in real time was necessary. So they agreed on it. All the parties at that session agreed on that. Now the committees proceeded to organize zonal public hearings across the 6 geopolitical zones and obtain the input of Nigerians. And across the 6 geopolitical zones, the Nigerian citizens were united in demanding that electronic transmission of results should be inserted in the Electoral Act of 2022. Therefore, it should be amended. That section 60 should be amended to accommodate electronic transmission of results. Now, the two committees brought their reports back to their various chambers. The Senate Committee on Electoral Matters brought the recommendations they have gathered from the public hearings and consultative actions, fora, everywhere, and submitted their report to us. The House of Reps Electoral Committee also submitted its own report, all of them based on the synchronized recommendations and demands made by the Nigerian people across Nigeria. So the House of Reps had taken their own, and they've passed all the recommendations as they gathered them during their public hearings. They've gathered all of them, they've passed it. They passed electronic transmission of results, they passed independent they passed delegate congresses, direct primary, and consensus for nomination of candidates, among other things that they did. But in our own case, our report was brought to us, and the Senate President felt that the right thing to do is for the Senate to set up an ad hoc committee to go and look at the submission made by the Senate Committee on Electoral Matters. All the copies were given to all the senators. We went to read the recommendations. Now, on Thursday, 2 Thursdays ago, the Senate set up an 8-man ad hoc committee to review all those recommendations. Yeah? There were 8.
Oh, okay.
There were 8.
7 was reported. Okay.
No, 8.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yes, no, it was 8. There were 8 in all.
Ṣé Dr. Abati fẹ́ mọ̀ ju wọn lọ ni? Ó tún correct yẹ. Mo fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ mọ̀ bá mi tẹ́tí sí o, á sọ̀rọ̀ lórí rẹ̀ o, àṣírí ti tú o.
Senator Adebomire, a senior advocate of Nigeria. So they were asked to report to the Senate on their findings after reviewing the recommendations of our Senate Committee on Electoral Matters. On Tuesday, the 3rd of February, they brought their report to the Senate. And the Senate President decided that we should go into a closed-door session. His reason was that we should go inside and discuss these things exhaustively. To discuss these things exhaustively, clause by clause, so that the senators will agree or reject any suggested amendment in the Electoral Act of 2022. So the recommendations of the ad hoc committee were placed side by side by the Electoral Act provisions of 2022. And we went through them one by one. And throughout the discussions, senators were almost unanimously agreed to electronic transmission of results. Even the ad hoc committee returned it the way the electoral committee brought it. In other words, they agreed the electoral transmission of results on real time to the INEC portal, viewing portal, should be left the way it was.
Okay,
so as soon as they did the report, we didn't have any problem. We agreed to that amendment.
Senator,
yes.
Now, you said you were part of the minority caucus led by Senator Abala Lerefe that addressed a press conference. Senator Abala Lerefe made it clear there that what the Senate has not agreed upon is real-time transmission. In other words, agreeing that INEC can act based on its own discretion. In other words, transmission of results from polling unit to ward level, to local government, to state government, and then to the national, which would then be collated by INEC. Professor Amukwiton also repeated that at an event, in the last 2 days. Are you now saying that you disagree with what Senator Abala Lerefe reported, along with other members of the minority caucus? The Senate President having said that the objection is not to electronic transmission. Professor Amukwiton also says no, electronic transmission is not a problem, but not real time. So are you changing your mind? Is that what we're discussing here?
No. Let me tell you, the problem was where they now said that they are returning the provision of Section 65 of the 2022 Electoral Act.
Yeah, this is what I've just reported. Exactly what they said.
No, it's not what you reported.
Are you aware?
Electronic transmission. I'm telling you. I was there. I'm telling you about electronic transmission.
Okay. What is your position now?
Different from It's different from transfer of results.
Senator, what's your position now?
Yes.
Are you saying that Senator Abala Lerefe,
our position is that
and Senator Akpabio misrepresented the process to the Nigerian public? In other words, that they are lying in the position they have taken.
Well, you are a media practitioner, and you know that the news you got after that day's plenary was that the Senate has rejected electronic transmission of results. That was what trended everywhere. And it was for a reason that while we agreed that electronic transmission of results to be returned during our closed session, when we came back to the plenary, towards the end, something happened. The chief whip of the Senate rose and said, that is moving that the electronic transmission of result will be expunged and replaced with transfer. And immediately the Deputy Senate President seconded him. And the Senate President immediately put it to a vote. A vote. Those in support say aye, those against say nay, and the ayes have it. So what you will capture in that proceeding will be that we have rejected electronic transmission, and then that we have returned transfer that was in the Electoral Act of 2022. That is the crux of the matter. And we are saying that that's not what the senators agreed to. That surreptitious move to put that question that the Senate President put without any debate is the crux of the matter. And anybody who is not saying that electronic transmission of result was not removed is not saying the truth. What you see is transfer of result. Go take your Electoral Act section 65, 2022, and read it. It talks about transfer of result, not electronic transmission of result. Electronic transmission was an introduction to the suggested amendment. Section 63 says that results shall be mandatorily transmitted electronically to the INEC viewing portal. It's different from section 60 sub 5 of 2022 that results shall be transferred. You cannot take these two things to be the same thing. So that is what has elicited the controversy. And if they say that they didn't remove transmission, electronic transmission, let them restore it the way it was in our general agreement in closed session, that electronic transmission of results shall...
ó dá o ibi láti wá dá sí i torí Dr. Abati lónìí mi ò mọ tí ń ṣe wọ́n tí wọ́n kàn já lọ́rọ̀ ẹ̀ sì ń bẹ́ẹ̀ nígbà tí wọ́n ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí ẹ jẹ́ wá mẹ́nu lẹ́nu tí Abaribe sọ Abaribe kọ́ bàbá yìí Abaribe ni wọ́n jọ kọ́kọ́ sọ̀rọ̀ tán ni wọ́n yọ transmission of electronic result wọ́n ní kò sí mbẹ̀ ní 2022 tá a sì ń gbọ́ káàkiri náà ní pọ́ wà ń bẹ̀ agbẹnusọ lẹ́gbẹ̀mọ asòfin náà wá tán wá láti Awẹ́ Èkìtì tán wá sọ gbogbo òyìnbó tán mọ̀ sọ wọ́n ní transfer àti transmit wọ́n ní kò sí yàtọ̀ mbẹ̀ nǹkan ṣùgbọ́n a ti gbóòtọ́ lẹ́nu arákùnrin yìí ó sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ti House of Rep pé wọ́n ní problem mbẹ̀ ní tiwọn ìyẹn ilé ìgbìmọ̀ asòfin kejì wọ́n ti ní amọ́pà wọn níbi àbúrò mọ́ wọ́n ní nǹkan kan náà làwọn àyà tiẹ̀ ń sọ fún mi pé àbí kán kúkú scrap àwọn táwọn rò pé bóyá àwọn gan-an ń ṣiṣẹ́ yìí tán ti di stamp wọ́n ti di rubber stamp wọn olódòdó lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀sùn tó fi ń kàn wọ́n nìyẹn pé káwọn kúkú stripe wọn tó bá jẹ́ wípé àwọn House of Rep náà ń ṣiṣẹ́ gidi kán retain àwọn yẹn ẹ wò ó gbogbo ohun tí àwọn èèyàn sọ wọ́n náwó wọn nára o ẹ̀yin náà rántí torí wọ́n máa ń rò pé àwọn èèyàn ti gbàgbé wọ́n gbé káàkiri gbogbo zones gbogbo geopolitical zone mẹ́fẹ̀ẹ̀fà àwọn ọba wà ń bẹ̀ tán náà gbowó bàbá Fápòǹdà tó àṣírí wọn ń gbà náà wípé owó burúkú náà ná lórí kìíní yẹn wọ́n ṣe nílẹ̀ Haúsá wọ́n ṣe nílẹ̀ Ìgbò wọ́n ṣe nílẹ̀ Yorùbá geopolitical wọ́n ṣe ní Niger Delta mẹ́fẹ̀ẹ̀fà geopolitical kìíní mẹ́fẹ̀ẹ̀fà náà ti ṣe wọ́n náwó wọn náírà àwọn èèyàn sì fẹnu sí wọ́n sì wọ́n fẹnu kò lórí transmission of result electronically òun náà ló sì máa bá wípé wọ́n ń ṣe real time wá torí ní tó bá mú yín lè mọ transmit result electronically kò sí ní tó ní ká ẹ má ṣe real time torí the same server àti the same connection yẹn connection náà ní òsì the same connection tó máa gbé electronic transmit òun náà ló máa gbé ti real time. Gbogbo excuse tàn wá wípé àwọn òdìbò electronically manually ní nídìí èyí electronical transfer ò lè ṣiṣẹ́ irọ́ ní bàbá rọ́ ẹ ṣe gbogbo input data yẹn input ẹ̀ síbẹ̀ ní pooling unit kọ̀ọ̀kan kó dẹ̀ transfer lọ boom the same connection náà lẹ́ẹ̀ lò fún real time òun náà lẹ́ẹ̀ lò láti fi transfer rẹ̀ òun ló wá fà tí bàbá yìí fi ń sòótọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ fún wa pé àwọn wà ń bẹ ìwọ Àbàtì tún bá jiyàn pé ìgbìmọ̀ ẹlẹ́ni méje òun lẹ́lẹ́ni mẹ́jọ ni àwọn mọ́ra àwọn tí ńgbà tán sì gbé gbogbo kínní ìdè bọ́n ṣe gbé lọ sí House of Rep tán gbé dọ́dọ̀ àwọn náà láti gbogbo geopolitical ìtumọ̀ ẹ̀ náà ni pé gbogbo ohun tí àwọn èèyàn fẹ́ nílùú èyí tẹ́ ń represent wa ó yẹ ẹ sọ́dọ̀fin o wọ́n wá gbé dọ́dọ̀ yín àwọn ti House of Rep ti bọwọ́ lu tiwọn ẹ̀yin ti Senate ẹ̀yin wá ń pa rìdàrìdà ẹ tún lọ gbé ad hoc committee míì ẹ tún lọ gbé kalẹ̀ ìgbà táwọn ad hoc committee á tún ṣiṣẹ́ tán tún yẹ̀wò dáadáa the same thing tán gbé wá wípé ó dẹ̀ jẹ́ kí electronic transmission wà ń bẹ̀ fún result òun náà làwọn ad hoc náà tún buwọ́lù ẹ sì jọ fẹnu kò nínú closed door meeting ẹ wá jáde ẹ wá ń sọ nǹkan míì fáwọn èèyàn ẹ ti yọkú òǹbẹ tí bàbá yìí sọ fún wa nìyẹn pé wọ́n ti yọkú òǹbẹ ẹ wá ní káwọn èèyàn mọ́ sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ wá ní kán ní sùúrù tẹ́ ẹ bá tọwọ́ bọ̀ irọ́ tí àwọn èèyàn tán tẹ́ ń represent sọ gangan ní kẹ́ ẹ ṣe gbogbo àyáàjì tẹ́ ń lò fáwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà kò sẹ́ni tó lè dẹ́rùbà yín kò sẹ́ni tí ń dẹ́rùbà yín ṣùgbọ́n àwọn tó rán yín iṣẹ́ wọ́n tó dẹ́rùbà yín tó rá àwọn gangan náà ní mandate.
I'm not jumping the gun. I'm a lawmaker, I'm a senator, I'm serving. And I can tell you that what is ongoing now is something that if care is not taken, the fears of Nigerians will be confirmed. Electronic transmission of results will be dropped. Because the truth is that the House of Reps has passed it. The Senate did not, from the way it handled its own proceedings, the electronic transmission of results is not there now. And the votes and the record of votes and proceedings will be approved before they go to conference or harmonization committee. Harmonization committee has been set up already by the Senate. But if we approve the votes and proceedings, then I will go and join their counterparts in the House of Reps. They will meet and reconcile. It may be a case of the same people coming together to reconcile their interests and tell us that this is what they have come up with. Nigeria will be faced with a foxfire, a fait accompli. And when they rule like that, then it means that the electronic transmission of results has collapsed. At that point, what will Nigerians do? Our yearning is for a transparent, credible election in Nigeria. The INEC chairman who quoted that said that he would deploy technology in conducting the election. Yes, INEC has been using technology to conduct these elections. The one we did in Anambra State on the 8th of November last year, by 8 p.m., all the polling booth results have been uploaded in the INEC portal. You can easily view them and see that everything is in place. And within hours, the final election result was declared. There was no protest. So now that we are having this process that is very reassuring, if you remove it, you leave it to the discretion of INEC. When a dispute arises, if you go to the court again, to the Supreme Court, they will tell you that electronic transmission of results is not in the Electoral Act. It's unknown to Nigerian law. What do we do at that stage? So we begin to kill ourselves again, shouting that, why can't we preserve something that will promote confidence and transparency? Because nobody will be harmed if results are transmitted electronically. Why do you want to stop it?
Senator.
There was no glitch in transmitting results of the senatorial House of Representatives election. It was only the presidential election transmission that was said to have had a glitch. And that is why the dispute came about. So it was a problem of infrastructure. Then many elections have been conducted since then, since 2023. And they have been going on well in terms of electronic transmission. I just told you about Anambra State governorship election that took place 8th of November. Everything was uploaded on real time.
sẹ́yìn náà ti wá rí ọgbọ́n àrékèrèkè tán lò wọ́n ní kò tiẹ̀ sí problem nípa infrastructure tàbí nípa server tàbí nípa connection kan nítorí wípé INEC ti ń lò ó wọ́n tiẹ̀ ní 2023 gan wọ́n lò ó fún àwọn senate wọ́n lò fáwọn House of Rep ìgbà tó di ti ọ̀rọ̀ president nítorí pé wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe mọ̀dàrú ni wọ́n result padà sí manually torí ẹ̀ làwọn èèyàn ṣe ń pariwo wípé ẹ ṣe mandatorily báyìí ẹ jẹ́ kó jẹ́ dandan wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ transfer result ẹ ti ń ṣe INEC ti ń ṣe ó náà ń wà successful kí ló dé tó jẹ́ ti president nìkan ló ní glitch inú bí ìbá ṣe wípé ẹ fẹ́ yan ọmọ Nàìjíríà jẹ. sẹ́yìn náà ń gbọ́ ìkan lára wọn rèé o tó wá sọ tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Ìyẹ̀wù fún wa ń táwọn fẹnu kò sí ọ̀tọ̀ ń tán wá páàsì ọ̀tọ̀ wọn náà gbẹ̀yìn gbẹ̀bọ̀jẹ́ wọ́n gbé nǹkan gbẹ̀yìn yín ni. ẹ jẹ́ wá tẹ̀síwájú ẹ jẹ́ á lọ sórí ọ̀rọ̀ ti Natasha bọ̀dà Jídé Òtítọ́jú wọ́n fẹ́ ṣàlàyé àwọn nǹkan kan fún wa ṣùgbọ́n ẹ jẹ́ ń ta kọ́sájú ẹlẹ́ẹ̀dẹ́pẹ̀ẹ́dẹ́ arábìnrin kan wà graduate of philosophy níléèwé gíga Uyo tán pa tí ọmọkùnrin Akpan gbà sọ́dọ̀ Akpan ló kọ rẹ̀ wọ́n ní nígbà tó gbà sọ́dọ̀ iṣẹ́ ni arábìnrin yẹn ń wá ó tán títí tó fi tán lọ village ó bá sùn káàsì ní mọ́ bá tú ó pa ó fipá bá sùn mi ò mọ bó ṣe tán lọ ẹ mọ̀ pé nígbà míì tóbìnrin bá wà nǹkan wọ́n mọ̀ mi ò sọ pé obìnrin ò jàfáfá o ṣùgbọ́n emotion máa ń promise upon promises ọlọ́run ló mọ tó fi tàn ó ṣàkó bá sùn fún ìyẹn Akpan ló kọ rẹ̀ o ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n ní ilé ẹjọ́ ti mú wọ́n ti dá lẹ́jọ́ wọ́n sì ti dá ẹjọ́ ikú fún bóyá ti wá pa bóyá ti pa àmọ́ wọ́n ní ṣùgbọ́n nígbà tí Natasha ó dìde wọ́n ní ara ẹ̀sùn tó fi kan Akpabio ní wípé ẹ̀sùn apààyàn yàtọ̀ sí kó fẹ̀sùn kan kó wọ́n fẹ́ pa òun náà gbogbo aláran ti kéèsì yẹn ṣùgbọ́n àwa rò pé nígbà tí Akpabio ti jáde tó ní gbogbo ẹ̀sùn lòun dáríjì èmi ò mọ̀ pé léyìí wà ń bẹ̀ àwọn èèyàn ní kó dáríjì jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ nínú òfin Nàìjíríà tó bá ti jẹ́ criminal case wọ́n lẹ́ àwọn ọlọ́pàá ọwọ́ wọn ló wà anything criminal mo ní so ó bá jẹ́ criminal wọn lè ẹni tó fẹ̀sùn kàn yàn ò lè dáríjì yàn kí ẹ sì gbẹ́jọ́ kò lé ẹjọ́ wọ́n ní wọn yìí ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ fún criminal wọ́n láwọn ọlọ́pàá fẹ́ mọ bó ṣe tọ́ gangan sí lóòótọ́ kì í ṣẹ̀sùn kékeré lẹ̀sùn criminal ẹ̀sùn pò pààyàn wọ́n lárákùnrin kan ló competition lọ sí ọ̀dọ̀ àjọ ajàfẹ́tọ̀ọmọnìyàn kan wípé ẹ̀sùn tán ti dájọ́ rẹ̀ yìí apànà ló pa lóòótọ́ wọ́n sì ti dájọ́ ọkú fapán ṣùgbọ́n èèyàn kan ló rán apán làwọn èèyàn bá yẹ̀wò lóòótọ́ pé ó ṣeé ṣe kó jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ torí àwọn náà ń wò pé kí ló lè mú apán pa ẹni ẹlẹ́ni nígbà tí ìṣe pé wọ́n ní àjọmọ̀ kan ti tẹ́lẹ̀ nígbà tí ìṣe pé wọ́n fẹ́ra wọn tẹ́lẹ̀ wọ́n mọ́ra rí bó ló ṣe jẹ́ sí apán ń bá àpábí ó ṣiṣẹ́ ní orúkọ wọn fẹ́ jọra irú sẹ́wọ̀n ní bá a sí sóbi ọmọbìnrin yìí ti ní fàǹfà pẹ̀lú àpábí ò tẹ́lẹ̀ ni tó fi wá di wípé sóun ló rán apán wọ́n ní gbogbo ẹ̀ arákùnrin kan ló ṣàmú petition lọ káwọn ajàfẹ́tọ̀ọ́ ọmọnìyàn tó wá lọ bá iléeṣẹ́ ọlọ́pàá wípé wá ẹjọ́ yìí tán ti dá yìí wọ́n lé èèyàn kan ní bàbá àṣàlẹ̀ náà bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ ẹ̀ṣẹ́ ibi tán ti wá ń ṣèwádìí làwọn ọlọ́pàá ti wá ní talent tó mú petition wá sọ́dọ̀ yín kan wọ́n lọ ọmọkùnrin kan ni àwọn invite ẹ̀ ìwọ ọmọkùnrin ẹ̀rí rẹ̀ dà wípé ẹni tó dárúkọ yìí Akpabio wípé ó mọ̀ sí kìíní ó lóun ò mọ̀ nǹkan kan òun ò lẹ́rìí wọ́n níbẹ̀ ló ti dárúkọ Natasha pé Natasha lòun náà pé kò ń lọ sọ ní ti wọ́n bá rán ni níṣẹ́ ẹrú èèyàn máa ń fi tọmọ jẹ ni bó bá jẹ́ lóòótọ́ ni o kí ló dé tí wọ́n ò béèrè ẹ̀rí kó tó rè sọ́mìtì petition lòdì sí nọ́mbà 3 man ní Nàìjíríà wọ́n ló wá ń wo òkè ó ń wọlẹ̀. mo bá ń wò pé kí náà ń wò lókè àyà ní ọ̀gá mi ẹmọ́dà ló ń kọ́ mọ̀ wípé àìgbọ́fà làwọn òkè ifá kan ò sì ń para mo ní bóyá ó ti wo fíìmù tó ti mọ́ pariwo wòkè kó wọlẹ̀ lónìí náà mọ̀. kódà ohun tí iṣẹ́ ìwádìí àwọn fi hàn rèé o ibẹ̀ náà ti indict Senator Natasha Senator Natasha wà ló wà ní position ní ìsìn láti provide ẹ̀rí fún arákùnrin yẹn ẹ jẹ́ a gbọ́ bí wọ́n ṣe discuss yẹn.
A totally new development has arisen in the Akpabio-Natasha tiff. A police report on Friday, February the 6th, indicted Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan over allegations of an organ harvesting she made against Senate President Godswill Akpabio. The report, signed by the Commissioner of Police in charge of the Police Monitoring Unit, Abuja, Akin Fakorede, was made public recently. Recall that in March 2025, 28-year-old graduate Inyobong Umorin was murdered and her vital organs removed. The Kogi Central Senator was at the center of the allegation, linking the Senate President to the act. Well, here we go again. These are times that will continue to try men's souls.
I think this is a very unique case that has exposed a lot of things about our political leaders.
Okay.
That people can hang on falsehood, to settle political scores. Issues that are not even related at all can be, invoked,
okay,
to advance political interest. The case we are talking of, the lady graduate of philosophy, University of Uyo,
yeah,
who was looking for a job and was lured by one Frank Odwak Apan. And then this person lured him to his village, raped the innocent girl, and buried her in a shallow grave. Very unfortunate incident.
But let's say the Frank has been sentenced to death.
Yeah, of course, sentenced to death, convicted,
convicted,
by court of competent jurisdiction. And, there was a petition by someone, by a human rights organization, which was done in good faith because a report was brought to that human rights organization that the Senate President was involved, in the murder of this innocent girl. So the NGO wrote to the police calling for investigation, and of course the police started investigating. It was discovered that someone had submitted the phone number of the NGO to the Senator Natasha, and then claimed that, so it was believed that Natasha prompted that petition to be written. Because the person who gave the phone number to Senator Natasha confirmed to the police that was her, that told him to go and. Eventually, police started the investigation. And I'm happy that when that report was brought to them, the police didn't go after the petitioner, which is customary. The police did a diligent investigation, and the report was signed by one Akin Fakorede. And I think the police went to, Akwa Ibom, met the parents, look at the
parents of the
deceased.
Yeah.
You know, and then conducted look at the postmortem examination, spoke with the parents, and the parents said, look, this lady that was killed, was murdered by this particular person.
Yeah.
And that, the Senate president has no connection at all. And that in fact that lady that was murdered, no organ was harvested. She was raped. I think in an attempt to prevent her from telling her story, this criminal, killed innocent girl.
Right.
So it's a lesson that either you're a politician or you are an ordinary person. It's not everything that we hear that is true.
Oh yeah.
Then, like we say in journalism, when you are in doubt, leave it out.
I think the Senate president has taken steps to ensure that this ding-dong affair does not continue. On our own, we decided to withdraw all cases, against Natasha. And he also went to the point of begging his wife to withdraw the case that she filed against the senator. The matter that we are talking about here involved a petition written by the president of the Unique Family Foundation, that's Sandra Drew. Sandra Drew filed that petition with the police against Senator Natasha. According to her, in a phone conversation, Natasha had made that allegation against the Senate president. The Senate president was involved in organ harvesting. Now, one thing that has to be made clear, the time during which Senator Akpabio's wife was ill, and the time when Ms. Iniobong was murdered were far apart.
Okay.
And all educated people, informed people, know that if you are going to do organ transplant, you are not going to bring that organ from a person already dead. If you want, if somebody suffer renal failure and you want to do kidney transplant, you are not going to bring the kidney of a dead person.
Obviously.
So it is borderline illiteracy for someone to imagine that you can go and bring the organ of a dead person and put it in
a living,
in somebody who is still alive.
Yeah.
ó dá ibi tí mo fẹ́ ká gbọ́ náà nìyẹn tó fa mokomoro nìyẹn wọ́n ní time tí ọ̀rọ̀ ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ gangan ni ara ìyàwó Akpabio yá tó sì ní ìdí kíndìnrín wọ́n ní ibi tán ti fura sọ́kọ rẹ̀ nìyẹn wọ́n á ní ó ṣe wá jẹ́ Akpabio nìkan náà rí dárúkọ sí ọ̀rọ̀ arábìnrin tí ò sí tẹlòmíì ń bẹ àti wípé èmi ò gbọ́ lẹ́nu Natasha gan bí tọ́rọ̀ dádé dúró yìí n ò gbọ́ lẹ́nu Natasha wípé ó fẹ̀sùn kàn án lórí ẹ̀rọ àgbàgbé arábìnrin tí ẹran ti dúrù tán dárúkọ yìí dúrù yẹn wà lára àwọn tó sọ wípé Natasha pé òun ó bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ tán rèé sí oríṣiríṣi advert jáde tán ṣe voice note tán rèé sí oríṣiríṣi ẹ wò AI ló pọ̀ jù nínú iṣẹ́ rẹ̀ AI la gbọ́ pọ̀ pọ̀ jù nínú iṣẹ́ arábìnrin yẹn tó sọ pé Natasha ló pé òun Natasha ò sì jáde kó lóun fẹ̀sùn kan Akpabio wípé ó pààyàn kò jáde ẹ wá wo ajàfẹ́tọ̀ọmọnìyàn náà ọlọ́mọ ní káà náà gbọ́ kíní ìdá ẹ wá wo ajàfẹ́tọ̀ọmọnìyàn tán ní oore mú kíní bá àṣẹ arábìnrin lónìí kíní yẹn lónìí NGO yẹn a sì gbọ́ nínú kan náà àwọn voice tó fi síta nígbà náà gbogbo wa la gbọ́ voice yẹn tá a mọ̀ mo tiẹ̀ sọ fàáyà mo ní wọ́n ti mímíkì voice wọ́n ti mímíkì ẹ̀ ìwọ tó o sì ń competition lòdì sí èèyàn tó ń pè èèyàn lẹ́jọ́ ó sì Nàìjíríà gan ó sì wá Nàìjíríà kó wá fi ẹ̀sùn tó fẹ́ fi kàn yàn kó wá fìdí ẹ̀ múlẹ̀ pé ẹni báyìí ló ran ẹni báyìí ẹ wo ọ̀rọ̀ wọn ò tí ì lójútùú torí ká ló lójútùú ni tó sì jẹ́ wípé lóòótọ́ ni wọ́n fẹ́ Natasha fẹ̀sùn kan Akpabio bẹ́ẹ̀ ó yẹ kán ti lọ gbé Natasha gbà tí ìṣepá àwọn sẹ́nítọ̀ náà ní immunity. abẹ́rẹ́ pé ẹ̀sùn yìí ní agbára àfi kí Natasha àwọn náà mọ̀ ń tán gbà lọ́wọ́ ara wọn torí wàhálà àwọn ẹ̀ pọ̀ o èmi rò pé wọ́n ní bàbá Fágbèmísì ti wọ́gi lé gbogbo kínní yìí ni ilé ìmọ̀ alágbára o ẹjẹ́ àpòǹbẹ́ ẹjẹ́ àtẹ̀síwájú ẹjẹ́ wá lọ sí orí ọ̀rọ̀ Nnamdi Kanu àgbẹ̀ arákùnrin kan hàn bọ̀ tó bẹ́ẹ̀ ó fẹ́ bá a fẹ̀ lójú láti ìgbà tí Nnamdi Kanu tó ti sọ wípé kán pàṣẹ kó mọ̀ sí síta tó náà láti wá gbọ́ wípé ó ti ṣetán fún àpíìlì báyìí o. Wọ́n ní on a file of 22 grants ló gbé àpíìlì rẹ̀, ẹjọ́ kò tẹ́mi lọ́rùn lé wípé bọ́n ṣe convict òun kò bá òfin mu. Ẹ bá ń tẹ̀sí ẹjẹ́ agbẹ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu àwọn tó mọ̀ jù á lọ.
I was able to see the tweet of his former lawyer, now consultant, Mr. Aloy Ejimako, when he went to town with the fact that they having filed their notice of appeal. I was able to glean through some of the grounds. They relate to procedural infractions, the failure of the trial court, Honorable Justice Omotosho, to resolve the challenge to his jurisdiction, and also issues around him being denied the right to file his final written addresses, and also the court failure to consider what he described as the foundational context of the trial against the backdrop of the fact that he was abducted, or there was an attack at his country home, Afaruku, and he had to run for dear life before he was now renditioned back to the country. That the trial court failed to weigh the implication of that action against the trial. These are legal issues to an extent weighty in the sense that they border on issues around jurisdiction, because if an appellate court finds that the trial court did not have jurisdiction to entertain the trial, that means whatever happened before the trial court is going to be quashed. So I think this is the beauty of the justice process, where you have another level of adjudication to test what an earlier court had decided. Now it's going to be before a panel of 3 justices. Before the trial court, it was just 1 judge. So you have 3 justices having the opportunity to look at what one arbiter has done, and then see whether there was a mistrial, there was a breach of Nnamdi Kanu's right to fair hearing, or whether the trial
part of right to fair hearing, this Nnamdi Kanu fired his lawyers and wanted to represent himself. So how do you think that particular ground would suffice in this argument?
Well, the Constitution says you are allowed to represent yourself or through a lawyer of your choice. So the fact that he disbanded his legal team still does not mean that he has lost the right to present his case. But again, it is still a complaint. It is for the appellate court to now look at it, to see whether indeed he was denied the right to present his case.
Like you said, this is the beauty of the justice
And after
system.
that, he has another shot at the Supreme Court, and then we'll see how.
All right. The fact that there are still 2 more legs for him to try, irrespective of what happens at appeal, because if he wins at the appeal, federal government is likely to take it to Supreme Court. And when you're dealing with such issues, I think it's more political than legal. And a lot of people have come up with suggestions that there are things that are required of Kanu to do if there must be a political solution.
Absolutely.
And the body language and the physical language we're getting, that seems not to be coming. So to a large extent, a lot still depends on Nnamdi Kanu, for us to follow the path of amicable solution. However, when you look at the weight of those issues that made them, because when you're looking at all the cases you looked at, don't forget, one of the things that made it life sentence is that all these cases were things that were ruled, adjudicated upon, which means that the one that has 20 years, one that has 30 years, there's one that has life sentence. The one that has to do with cutting people's all kinds of allegations that were made. That's one of the reasons why we believe that there must be, in my view, there must be a representative.
Òun náà láti gbọ́ yẹn wọ́n ní body language Nnamdi Kanu gan kò dàbí ẹni wípé òun gan fẹ́ kàn settle ẹ̀ out of court. Ó rẹ̀ káàbọ̀ padà ẹja wá mẹ́nu lé ọ̀rọ̀ ti electricity tí àjọ NEC fi clarify wípé not all electricity meters are free o, pé àwọn sọ fún yín lọ́jọ́ sí pé political gimmicks náà fẹ́ fi ṣe fún yín gbogbo kéde tí wọ́n gbé síta láti ẹnu Minister of Power tó sọ wípé èèyàn kankan gbọ́dọ̀ gbowó lọ́wọ́ yín o, free everything. Wọ́n ní kì í ṣe free o, àjọ NEC ló sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ní Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission. Wọ́n náà ń jẹ́ ó yé wa wípé kì í ṣe gbogbo mítà ni àwọn máa install lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ o, kò gbọ̀fẹ́ kò bọ́fẹ́ dé o. Wọ́n ní not all electricity meters currently being installed across the country are free, as it is sought to address growing confusion over the federal government's metering programs and recent warnings against illegal charges by electricity distribution companies. The chairman of NEC, Musili Oseni, made the clarification on Saturday during a radio chat with Adiola Samuel Ilori on Fresh FM, explaining that meters provided under government-funded initiatives are free at the point of installation. At the point of installation, nìkan ló ti free o, while other options still exist for customers who are unable to or unwilling to wait. Pé ìyẹn máa gba time ní tẹ́lẹ̀ ńkọ́, ẹ̀ máa jẹ́ waste time ní dọ́là ẹni tí ò bá ti lè ní passport office náà, ẹni tí ò bá ti rí ti biometrics ṣe yóò padà sí manual ni, yóò padà lọ sí ọ́fíìsì wọn ni. Biometrics gan wait báyìí tí tẹ́ẹ̀mọ̀ sọ lójú sọ. Oseni further said meters supplied under the distribution sector recovery program known as DISREP are fully funded by the federal government and must be provided to customers at no cost. Only is 100% free. The disc-rep meter is free because it is paid for by the government. The disco have been rolling it out. Of course, they will pay the money back. But the loan comes at a very minimal interest rate. So through the tariff, disco are not going to charge customer because of the meter. They are to provide it free of charge to the customers. And that is what the minister and the DG of BP actually meant. And it is 100%. Osieni said. He stressed that electricity distribution companies are prohibited from demanding any payment from customers for meters deployed under the program. Disrep. If you get the free meter, ideally you are meant to pay for the cost of the meter given to you through the tariffs. Whoever says sanwó tariff, so no disco is allowed to collect money from you. If you get the free meter new, only ideally you pay for the cost of the meter given to you through tariffs. However, Oseni explained that the meter asset provider scheme remains in operation for customers who may not be able to wait for the rollout of the free meters due to timing or logistical constraints. There is still the meter asset provider, MAP. Wọ́n náà tán ń gbé ní agbègbè níbi tí ó ti máa take time before the free installation gets to them and they cannot wait. Can decide to pay for a meter asset provider, MAP, but they must ensure that they pay into a company, not an individual. The chairman warned consumers to be vigilant, adding that free meters can be easily identified. When the MAP meter gets to them, they can check whether it is a meter that is meant to be free, that is being provided after payment. If you look at the free meter carefully, there is an inscription after the name of disco. You will see disrep. Wọ́n ní tẹ́ ẹ bá sanwó fún mítà yín tẹ́ ẹ lè dúró ṣùgbọ́n nígbà tán bá gbé mítà wá fún yín kán bá ṣe arúmọ jẹ ìgbà tán máa gbé mítà wá fún yín wọ́n kọ disrep DISREP sórí ẹ̀ wọ́n ní kẹ́ ẹ ti mọ̀ wípé mítà ọ̀fẹ́ náà gbé fún yín kàn fowó yín jóná ni o. Wọ́n ní ẹ̀yà píkṣọ̀ rẹ̀ kẹ́ ẹ bọ́ sórí ẹ̀rọ agbágbé àwọn kẹ́ ẹ wá fẹjọ́ wọn sùn tẹ́ bá ti ní ẹ̀rí. MAP náà gbọ́dọ̀ kọ sórí mítà tẹ́ ẹ bá sanwó fún èyí tẹ́ ẹ bá sanwó fún tó gbọ̀fẹ́ ó ní disrep. Wọ́n ní the NEC chairman said the commission had introduced multiple initiatives to close Nigerians' metering gap after discovering that DISCO was struggling to access financing. When we evaluated the financing, we realized that based on the difficult situation, the current situation, it will be difficult for them to attract financing. Bank wọ́n sá ti sọ wípé ojúlala kan fi sọ́rí o mítà méjì ló wà ìkan gbọ̀fẹ́ ṣùgbọ́n ó lè pẹ́ kó tó dé ìkan ẹ̀ sanwó ṣùgbọ́n ẹ má jẹ́ kán gbé mítà tó gbọ̀fẹ́ wá fún yín tẹ́ ẹ bá sanwó wọ́n gbà yín ni o tẹ́ ẹ bá ti rí tán kọ disrep lórí rẹ̀ sórí ẹ̀ kẹ́ ẹ ti mọ̀ wípé ẹ gbowó yín padà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ tó bá gbé fún yín ẹ wá fẹjọ́ wọn sùn ẹ ní ẹ̀rí gbogbo transaction tẹ́ bá ń ṣe kò jù bá náà lọ o. ẹ já wa fẹlẹ́ ìkáde rẹ̀ ńlẹ̀ ẹ já dé ọ̀dọ̀ national chairman fún APC wọ́n ní why APC has not officially welcomed Fubara. Àwọn fẹ́ sọ gbogbo náà la sì ń retí ọ̀nà tí Fubara fẹ́ gbà yọ torí àwa là ń sọ̀rọ̀ sí lánàá o. Akọrin fún òun ṣe bí ọ̀dọ̀ ìsìn ṣùgbọ́n àwọn ọmọ wa kan bàbá wa ní ká ní sùúrù wípé Fubara ti sọ wípé òun yìí ṣajá ti ń gbó polówó ajá lòun pé gbogbo ajá ti ń gbó káàkiri pé ẹ fi Wike lẹ́yìn ń gbó ni ó kọ́ station ó kọ́ radio station sí ọ́fíìsì wọ́n ra mọ́tò jọ rẹpẹtẹ Ayas Oma Boss 2025 model ó ní kò káyé ó ní ariwo ajá ni ó ní empty barrel makes the loudest noise pé ẹ jẹ́ kó ń dé ṣùgbọ́n àwọn èèyàn wá ń kọminú wípé àwọn ẹgbẹ́ APC náà tán ṣalátìlẹ́yìn fún ṣé bó ti defect kí ló dé tẹ̀yìn náà fẹ́ kọ̀ sílẹ̀ wọ́n láwọn ò kọ̀ sílẹ̀ ìdí rèé táwọn ò tí ì fi ṣe báwọn yòókù ṣe defect tó gba tó mìtìtì pé àwọn ń dúró de nǹkan kan ni pé yóò mìtìtì lọ́dọ̀ tiẹ̀ náà mo ń wo Wiki lánàá ẹjẹ́ àkọ́kọ́ gbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu wọn náà.
But in Rivers State, similarly, Fubara appears to be unable to assert his control as the leader of the APC in that state.
Is that what you're told?
That's what is playing now.
I'm the national chairman. Who complained to you?
Well, we're reading it.
Who complained to you?
We're seeing it in the media.
Petition? That effect?
Well, I'm a journalist and I'm telling you
but
what I
petition?
see, what I see.
I want to give you one petition.
That's up to the governor and his men to come up with a petition.
Has he complained to you?
To come up with a petition.
Has he complained to you?
Well, these people are speaking in the media. Because we see the FCT minister who says he's the leader of the Renewed Hope family. The Renewed Hope agenda is a program of the APC.
No. mark support groups separate from the party activities.
The renewed hope agenda is not for the APC.
Is it under under the office of the chairman? The party? Now, so, when somebody has not complained to you, and when you've not seen a fiscal petition, the media should not create a media petition. And they become the petitioners, the judge at the same time, and they sentence the person, and they create the prison at the same time.
Maybe because we did see a grand reception welcoming him to the party.
We have Kanu and himself. We're preparing for them.
Oh, okay. That's good to know.
Yes. Preparing for them. But, these are the, when you're dealing in politics, we opted to clear the north first because Ramadan is coming.
Indeed.
And most of the people in the north, we have a lot of Muslim community in the north. So one is sensitive to the issue of Ramadan, so we pleaded that we'll clear the northern governors who have become the APC first before we go to the south, where we don't have Ramadan as an issue. So these are strategy and also acknowledge the sensitivity of each community, and that's the reason we took that decision.
Mo rò wípé national chairman àwọn ò gbọ́ ibi tí Wike ti sọ wípé àwọn ò nídìí gómìnà láti ṣe renewed hope family agenda. Àwọn eléyìí kan ń parọ́ fúnra wọn ni kó wọ́n yẹ kó àwọn náà máa ti Fubara sí náà. Wọ́n ń tan Fubara pé kó ní sùúrù. Wike ti ń gba ṣáìmọ́ lọ́wọ́. Wọ́n bá nídìí owó wọn á wá bá Fubara. Ó náà lẹ ti bá yẹn sọ̀rọ̀ wọn mú yẹ̀sì wá. Mò ń wo Wike lánàá tó ní gbogbo contribution àwọn tó dáwó ó nínú ẹgbẹ́ APC and PDP ni mo ní. Confusion yìí wọ́n á fi ṣera wọn. Inú olódò dẹ́ ń dùn ní ìsìn pé Wike mobilize party méjì fún ọ. Iṣẹ́ ẹgbọ́ rí níbi tí party méjì ti forí tán ti ń fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀. Wike máa bà nǹkan jẹ́. Ní rí jù báyìí lọ́nù ìròyìn tòní oníyan sí ọlọ́bẹ̀ sí àtàfẹ́jẹ́ náà kó ìbínú bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni bínú ò bá bí yín bó bá dénú yín bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni tí ọwọ́ bá dilẹ̀ ẹ bá fi ránṣẹ́ sáwọn olólùfẹ́ yín ìmọ̀ràn yín náà ṣe kókó 55 lines nínú comment section ni ó dá àrùn rí bára wa ṣe o ọ̀sẹ̀ yóò dùn kanlẹ̀ láti Ọlọ́run Èdùmàrè bàbá tún fi mú wíkẹ́ndì ayọ̀ láàmú iyọ̀ ntí a torí májẹ̀mú tá a bọ́lọ̀ ń dànù. I love you and I will miss you till tomorrow. Àyà kí ló ní fún anú abalẹ̀ ń bá ráàyè àwàráàyè o ó yá nsòǹlẹ̀ àròjọ mùsùlùkùn. Ó dá ọ ẹ káàbọ̀ sínú abala ẹ̀ ń bára bóòlù ọjọ́ lọ́dọ̀ yóò dá ẹ jẹ́ lọ sọ́dọ̀ Mọ́mí-Remi first lady Nàìjíríà níbi tí wọ́n ti ganu sí máìkì wọ́n bi wọ́n láwọn nǹkan kan látìgbà tí ààrẹ orílẹ̀-èdè Amẹ́ríkà tí wọ́n ti ṣe kúndùsì fún wọn wọ́n gbé fún wọn wọ́n pè wọ́n ní respected woman in one of the biggest churches in Nigeria. Ṣùgbọ́n àṣẹyìnbọ̀ ọmọ gan ti wá ní bí èèyàn kan ò yin àwọn ò yin ara àwọn ò nítorí wípé ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn dàbí ọ̀rọ̀ wúrà tí wọ́n fi sínú iná tó jẹ́ wípé iná yẹn ló wá jẹ́ ó mú ẹwà jáde. Wọ́n ná ní àwọn ńlé ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n ná ní àwọn láti ta bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni wọ́n wá sọ̀rọ̀ kan bó ti jẹ́ wípé ó ń jọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé wọ́n ti gé dànù nínú fọ́nrán èyí tí wọ́n fẹ́ ká gbọ́ náà fi síta ṣùgbọ́n àwọn tí ò yéye wọ́n sọ kúlẹ̀kúlẹ̀ rẹ̀ wọ́n ní wọ́n bà àwọn aráabí lójú jẹ́ tí wọ́n lérò pé wọ́n lè sọ nípa bí wọ́n ṣe ju àdó olóró bá Amẹ́ríkà àti Nàìjíríà sì fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ ju àdó olóró sí Caliphate sí Sokoto jàre ẹgbẹ̀ẹ́dẹ́ ni mò ń dọ́gbọ́n fi wọ́n pa wípé wọ́n ní more to come ìrànlọ́wọ́ làwọn ní ìdísí látọwọ́ Amẹ́ríkà nítorí wípé kì í ṣe àwọn èèyàn náà ń jo àdó olóró lù bí kò ṣe àwọn agbésùmọ̀mí.
Nigeria's First Lady, Iroyin Tinubu, has described the recent U.S. airstrikes against Islamist militants in the West African country as a blessing, as she calls for deeper security cooperation in Washington. Speaking during the visit to the United States, Mrs. Tinubu said the strike showed welcome support as Nigeria battles insurgents and criminal gangs. Mrs. Tinubu, in an interview with Fox News, said that Nigeria is looking forward to stronger collaboration with the U.S. to address growing security challenges. The comments come amidst concerns in the U.S. over religious violence in Nigeria, particularly attacks on Christian communities. Now, Mrs. Tinubu added that the violence affects both Christians and Muslims, stressing that insecurity cuts across regions and religious lines.
Whatever is happening, at times, who would have, you said President Trump recognized me. Who would have thought that would happen, to even say the least? So when you look at that, I'm getting global recognition in all of it, despite, and that is what life is all about. If something is going to be good, it will come from, the rebels, and it starts like that. And then we have that attention, we have the conversation going, and we expect, there will be more it's going to yield a better fruit for us, and both for us and also America. We've been able to educate them more about the situation on ground. We live in Nigeria. We know that, this is a democracy, and we are getting close to re-election, and there will be a lot of portals of the beliefs they want the outside world to know. And we can see that with this government, we just out of a lot of economic crisis that we inherited, because this is the first time the government of Nigeria will remove fuel subsidy. We were producing oil, but we were not refining them. So now Nigeria, we have refined products, and we're not importing fuel like before. So our exchange rates are stabilizing. The country is moving forward. We're trying to make sure that insecurity we can tackle. And the president has even changed the service chiefs. They've replaced them with new ones. So we're looking at reforms. In November, because of what is going on and the world concern about Nigerian Christians, the government, my husband declared a state of emergency on the 26th November 2026 and on insecurity. And by that, what did he do? He had to ask the police inspector general to recruit additional 50,000 police officers. And then the soldiers, 24,000 officers, so that they can help in, to secure insecurity. And not only that, there are 10,000 forest guards that were not carrying arms before. It said they should be armed so that they can secure the forest where all those terrorist groups, take hiding, and so that, and also the bandits and people that are for ransom or asking people, kidnapping for ransom rather. So those are the target. And also not only that, 11,566 police officers that were under VIP assignments have been recalled. So that, and they've been sent to all the hotspot areas in Nigeria, like Plateau State, Benue State, Taraba, and also other communities that they felt that they needed. So, and that's what, has been happening. So we hear what the world is saying. We are concerned about our people's safety. Nigeria is a country that, encourages freedom of religion, and which is entrenched in our constitution. And we're trying to make sure that even investors, when they come to Nigeria, because our, economic growth is rising steadily, and then we want to make sure that, we can do that. And there's so much work to be done. So we are not ready to blame past administration, because when Nigeria was in the boom age, we didn't really invest well. So, and this is what, we've inherited now. We have to see what to do, and we have to partner with other countries who mean well for Nigeria, and, and those who can help us, making sure that our insecurity situation is dealt with.
Ó dá ọ̀nà ilẹ̀ ti gbọ́ yẹn já wá fi léèká fi káde gbogbo rẹ̀ ńlẹ̀ lára mítìnì tí à ń mú bọ̀ lọ́la lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ ẹjá kàn yẹn létí yín ni a ti gbọ́ wípé Africom tí wọ́n bá ààrẹ olódòdẹ tán bá wọn ṣèpàdé lánàá náà sọ wípé lára kókó ìpàdé tán ṣe wọ́n láwọn ń wá ilẹ̀ tán máa fún àwọn èèyàn ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí gbé wọ́n ní military base ní ọmọ yẹn military base mọ́ military base wàhálà àgò ní ó pa láìsí wọ́ta àwọn Fúlàní. Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà la gbọ́ wọ́n ní kálífèètì gan-an wọ́n ní ààrẹ Tinubu ní kán gbé kan lọ jókòó síbì kan wọ́n mọ ìṣèjọba àwọn náà yàn sípò kán gbẹ́nu wọn dákẹ́ gbogbo sọkúsọ tó ń sọ kiri wípé ta ló bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ military base. Pé bówù yín kẹ́ ẹ janra mọ́lẹ̀ jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ alára la róró, no time to waste time, no time to check time. Wọ́n ní lára ẹyọkan láàfin tó yín létí o àfẹ́ yòókù lójú lọ́la. Wọ́n ní wọ́n ń wá ibi tó ti máa ṣe drone. Again, the proposed station signal a broader U.S. push to deepen its military and intelligence presence across Africa, with Ghana serving as a key logistic hub. Analyzing says this could boost counter-terrorism operations. Pé lára ohun tí wọ́n sọ fún ààrẹ Tinubu pàwọn fẹ́ náà ni wípé Washington is seeking approval to build a grand refueling station for its drones in Nigeria. A grand refueling station, fuel lásán náà fẹ́ mọ́ ayé yín bá yín ẹ̀yin tí Fúlàní tí yín bàjẹ́ ó bàlùmọ̀. Wọ́n ní the facility will allow US aircraft, mostly like MQ-9 Reaper drones, to land, refuel and coordinate with Nigeria security officials before returning to Ghana, where the US already conducts regular ISR flights over Nigeria. Èmi ò ní sọ jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ àgùntàn bí òtàn ẹ̀rọ oògùn ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ọlọ́run ọba ń tó mú Trump tó fi yin ìyàwó olódòdẹ àná láwọn Fúlàní ń bínú sí ìyàwó olódòdẹ mo lẹ́ẹ̀ ti sì sọ nígbà tẹ́nìkan rè pẹ́ ní ẹlẹ́ni lọ́jọ́ sí mọ̀ pé bá lọ àbọ̀ ni ẹ mọ̀ retí n ò ní fi gbogbo ẹnu sọ ẹ mọ̀ retí bẹ́ẹ̀sì drone èmi ò ní military base yìí o ẹ mọ̀ retí bẹ́ẹ̀sì drone níbi tán kan ti fẹ́ mọ̀ refuel táàrí olódò dẹ́ bá ti gbà ọlọ́run sì jẹ́ kán gbà.